two or three things have happened. One, devaluation of the currency. Official rates have gone from about 420, 450 to about 1,550 odd at the end of the year. So that has driven our cost structures up drastically. So in paying for diesel has gone from pre-COVID times from 200-300 naira to 1,000 plus naira. Petrol.
FAA says people with severe disabilities are most underrepresented segment of the workforce, and they want them in, and they can be air traffic controllers. I don't think so.
Whenever they hear the term DEI or they hear the term affirmative action, they look to the Black community thinking that we are the better. Now, here's some information for you. The number one recipient of DEI
and everything, and electric car batteries and everything. And these minerals are in abundance in the eastern part of the Congo. Are you following me? So government forces are fighting to take the eastern part of the Congo away from the Tutsis. The Democratic Republic of Congo government is not being very honest. The truth is, they are fighting to take away the eastern part of the Congo so that the United States and other countries can enjoy things. Those minerals, those eastern part of Congo, after displacing the people, the Tutsis, the rightful owners of the eastern part of the Congo.
She is Israeli citizen. It was because today hiding the face with a bag amongst these just a short while ago. She was led through the crowd. She was led from captivity. And at this point, you can only imagine.
Hello. Thank you. Welcome to our weekly update session. We are going to be covering some of the events of the week. Clearly, quite a few things has happened in the past week. There is the issue of the American deportation of illegal migrants. There is the crash in Washington that occurred. And there is Trump's DEI accusation that has, stirred conversation. And on the continent, there is the matter of the crisis in DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. The Rwandan military seems to have, some of them anyway, seems to have encroached into the Congolese territory in the name of their own security. And there is, as you can see, one of the videos I played indicated that someone was implying that the Congolese government were somehow discriminating against the Tutsis in Congo, that the Tutsis own the land where the most of the resources, the Kivu area, where the most of the resources are. Hence why the Congolese government wants to displace them and give the mineral resources to the West, which is strange, because I thought Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo are already in the pocket of the West. So I don't know what that is all about. Another funny thing that happened this week that I found interesting about what Trump was saying about DEI. That DEI represents the diversity, equity, and I don't even know what the third one means. I think inclusive, or what? I think somebody will share it with you guys here. I'm not so sure what that means, but it's supposed to represent a way of ensuring that all communities are part of the workforce. So it's not tilted in favor of one group. So, and in America, whenever that term is used, it's often a kind of wink. It's for black people. They did it for black people. It's for this stuff is for black people. DEI is for black people. But it turns out that it's not necessarily true. and the truth of all these things are going to come up. And in a way, it's quite depressing that even with things that people associate to benefit black people barely benefit from it, which is weird. Even the things you think were supposed to be out there and people just assume it benefited black people, it's not true. It doesn't. It benefits other groups more than it benefits black people even. It's just that incidentally somehow black people get caught up in the net of what the people that change or law benefits. Then there is the issue of deportation. Trump has gone ahead with his deportation, and I gather that there is a reward of $5,000, $5,000 for people that rat out their neighbors that are illegal migrants. If you can surrender an illegal migrant to the, what do they call them again? The deportation force in the US, they will reward you with $5,000. And it turns out that some people are complaining that a lot of black people are wicked. They are they are ratting their neighbors out, and people are not. Yeah, ICE. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, ICE. Yeah, that people are not very very friendly, and that they are busy betraying, people within their community to ICE for the $5,000. But it turns out that most of the people that are being deported are probably going to be people in the Americas anyway. Another one that came up again that was a little bit interesting on one side, that Trump is seeking to kind of make the Indians non-citizens of America, because there is a clause in the Constitution that stated that if you don't pay tax to the United States government, you are not considered citizens. So they are trying to find a way to write the Indians out of the United States. It's crazy what is going on out there. And it's funny because I predicted it. I did predict this. People may not give me credit for that. That Trump is not for, it's just for the white people. Let's face it. It's not for black people. All the black people that voted for him thinking that it's for them, it's a mistake. I never said my support for Trump is because he supports us. It's because he doesn't interfere with us as much as the Democrats. So that is that. So back to the continent, I will be going back to this DEI stuff later. I'll play some videos, share some information. I think the reason why I'm doing this weekly update is because what I find in the news out there, I find that there is a lot of misleading information. There's a lot of misleading information out there that is not accurate. It's simply inaccurate. Now, we'll start with that of Congo. I've been hearing about the Congolese issue for a very long time. And to be fair, I'm not very pleased with what I hear. And so many, negative information has come out from there. And there has been endless accusation and counter accusation. It's imperialism, it's new imperialism, it's Western powers, it's the Chinese, it's the useless leaders of Congo, it's Kagame, all kinds of different permutations of what people think is going on in that region. And this recent one showed that I think maybe some of you may have seen it from the thumbnail, that some mercenaries from the DRC were captured by the M23 militia, and they were deported to Rwanda, which is interesting. They were deported to Rwanda. And I asked myself, what is going on here? Because a lot of people like to think that, some people believe Kagame when he says
there's nothing
that it has something to do with the fact that Congo and the government are discriminating against Tutsis in Congo. That the Tutsis that are in Congo are being discriminated against. They are being kind of denied their right, that they own the land. I think there's a video of this guy saying it even, which I just find silly because it's not true. What he was saying was just inaccurate. And so let me see. Where is that? This okay, yeah, that's him there. He was saying stuff that just was not accurate about the conflict. Let me just see. Well, let me just see if I can play it. Let me play this now.
Nations are born outside the Congo because they can't go back. They've been displaced and their lands are being guarded by the gun. Under the watch of the Democratic Republic of Congo government. This is why the Tutsis in the eastern part of the Congo armed themselves, starting with the Banyamulenge, now with the M23. Because if you don't arm yourself in the DRC as a tribe, you are finished, especially if you have rich land like the eastern part of the DRC that belongs to the Tutsis. So the M23 rebels had to arm themselves to fight to defend their territory. The eastern part of Congo is rich with uranium, lithium, and other semiconductor minerals that are used to make phones and drones and everything. So now the world is moving towards drones and phones, these smartphones and everything, and electric car batteries and everything. And these minerals are in abundance in the eastern part of the Congo. Are you following me? So government forces are fighting to take the eastern part of the Congo away from the Tutsis. The Democratic Republic of Congo government is not being very honest. The truth is they are fighting to take away the eastern part of the Congo so that the United States and other countries can enjoy exploiting those minerals in the eastern part of Congo after displacing the people, the Tutsis, the rightful owners of the eastern part of the Congo.
Wow, you heard that. This is one of the reasons why I came on. And it's really important we know the truth of things. What this man said here doesn't make sense. It simply doesn't make sense. You know why? He literally said the Tutsis own the eastern part of the Congo. Now, let me repeat that again. Let me play that again so that we get it straight. And I really don't like when people misrepresent truths. And this is why news, when you consume news, including this one, be careful what you listen to. Don't listen to what I say. Don't just believe me. Check data. Check information about that region. Check information about the people there. Check information about information that is often presented without bias. That is just basic information. Use your own common sense to make sense out of what they are telling you. Now, let me play it again.
Of the Congo armed themselves, starting with the Banyamulenge, now with the M23. Because if you don't arm yourself in the DRC as a tribe, you are finished, especially if you have rich land like the eastern part of the DRC that belongs to the Tutsis. So the M23 rebels had to arm themselves to fight to defend their territory. The eastern part of Congo is rich with uranium, lithium, and other semiconductor minerals that are used to make phones and drones and everything. So now the world is moving towards drones and phones, these smartphones and everything, and electric car batteries and everything. And these minerals are in abundance in the eastern part of the Congo. Are you following me? So government forces are fighting to take the eastern part of the Congo away from the Tutsis. The Democratic Republic of Congo government is not being very honest.
Now I will show you why I think he is wrong. And this is a problem for our people. We have to start knowing the truth. Now, I will ask the question here, and we are going to get to see the truth of these things. Now, the question is, now, what percentage of DRC population is Tutsi? Now, let's see Tutsi. Now, Rwanda, in Rwanda, Tutsi make up 14%. Look at, even in Rwanda, Tutsis make up minority of the population, even in Rwanda. But I'm talking about in DRC. Where is this one? Okay, DRC, 400 and something thousand people. 400 and something thousand. I asked for potential mumu, and why are you giving me this? Why are you giving me these figures? I asked for percentage. What percentage of DRC population is Tutsi? That's what I asked for. In Burundi and this year, I asked for that of DR. Let's see, DR Congo. Is that not clear for you? And did I not ask what type of population is in this in DR Congo? So, in other words, the actual number is less than 1%. The Tutsis make up less than 1% of the population of the DRC. I will repeat that again. They make up less than 1%. I don't care about the news. And then I went deeper. I said, what is the population of what is percentage of Tutsis in Eastern DRC? And if you want to find out this population, you'll be surprised. Even in Eastern DRC, they are a minority, a small minority in Eastern DRC too. Even in the towns like, I think North and South Kivu, where they said the Tutsis are supposed to be present, they are also a minority there. So what is going on here? How can a minority within a minority be causing so much problem in a country? That doesn't make sense. Once you ask that core question, then you start working your way up. Can you imagine in Nigeria or in any country where a minority takes so much power away from the center? A tiny minority like that is scary. So then it leads to the question, if they are such a small minority, how is it M23 has so much power over DRC? You see, this is very, very interesting. And we in Nigeria and other parts of Africa, we need to learn from this. Because what is happening to DRC is similar to what has happened to Syria, really. Because Western powers will use another organization, even within your country, to sap your natural resources, weaken your state, and then they empower that force to take over your country. And in a way, it's similar to what DRC is going through now. Kagame, the chameleon of a guy, I really, really don't like that guy. That guy, what he has done to Africa, I was one of those people that were fooled by him. Now, hear his argument that he always makes. Now, I will take that argument apart. Just hear what he has to say for himself, for why his people are causing so much problem inside the ROC.
Looking like that. So it's subjective. But to the point you're making about tyrant or cruel, or you see, you can't be bad to that extent. Cruel or a tyrant or bloodthirsty or whatever, and hide it. It's difficult. Even if you try to hide it, there is a moment it betrays you. And that also, once it has come out or once it is not there, you register. For somebody to have powers over me, that one I can tell you is not possible. Even the most powerful didn't. So, ntimugatinye ibitumbaraye. Sometimes biri mu busa. Tutsis to Rwanda, to belong there because that's where they belong. And Kagame is a Tutsi, he's the president of Rwanda. Let them go and join their president. This is what is behind it. One time we had a meeting and we were having an argument with the leaders. And of course, there was a contradiction in some of these people's argument.
See, let me respond to this comment. You see, Fortress, eastern part of Nigeria make up at least 10 to 15, almost 20% of the Nigerian population. That's eastern part of Nigeria, almost 20% of Nigerian population. We are talking about, the people we are talking about here are less than 1%. And this is what bothers me. Less than 1% of the population of DRC. And I think if you don't know this truth, you get confused with all the comments people are making. Because when I listen to all this information, I know people have been accusing Kagame of exploiting DRC to make money. Stealing their natural resources, coltan, gold, all those stuff. They are stealing it and they are doing a lot of export through this in Rwanda. And the way Rwanda behaves right now, you can literally tell that this man has been empowered to do what he's doing. He has no fear. He knows. He was trained by American military. He has no fear. He knows what he's doing. How can you make a case that 1% of the population in a region somehow is looking to take over the entire country? And can you even believe that these Tutsis they are talking about, even in Rwanda, they are a minority? This is mind-blowing. Are we not in a democracy anymore? What is the point of democracy? When the minority wants to rule at all costs. Should we just go back to fighting it out and then foreigners come and finish the job? And this is why I abhor this man. He has lied to people for decades in Africa. He's been in office for 25 years. Now his argument is the DRC is discriminating against the Tutsis. They are saying they want to get rid of the Tutsis. They want the Tutsis to return back home to their country. So if that is the case, has Kagame not been in office for 25 years? Why have we not heard of this case in the UN? Why have we not heard about it in African Union? Why have we not heard about it in East African organizations? Why have we not heard of Kagame talking about his people, his Tutsis in Rwanda getting discriminated against? It's always going on about Tutsis, so because I'm not sure it's only Tutsis that are from Rwanda that are in Congo, because there are other people too. The other groups that are also in Congo that are from Rwanda. So why is he always focusing on Tutsis? Hey, welcome. What's his name? Dat. Yeah, Afro-Asiatic people always harbor such feelings towards Bantus. So you think Tutsis are Afro-Asiatic? To be fair, he does look Somali though. I must say, that's on a lower this thing. That is not a serious comment there. But he does look Somali. He can pass as a Somali easy. And I'm sure there are people in Nigeria that can pass as Somalis too, but I find it peculiar. You have to ask yourself from the core questions. This is why it's always good to get the information underlying whatever narrative you are hearing. Because if, let's say, the Tutsis in Congo were about 5% of the population, and the land that they claim to occupy, that they are fighting for, is entirely their own, I would have understood. But even in that North Kivu and South Kivu, when you check the information, go to ChatGPT, check anywhere, you will find that even the Tutsis are minorities in those areas too. So why are they causing so much trouble? Who empowers them to cause so much trouble inside Congo? To the point whereby they go and take over Goma. What is going on? I think the days of Kagame is at an end. This man has caused so much trouble on the continent that he is with the ones that this type of attitude It's what leads to the kind of genocide you saw in the 90s. This is our attitude. You make it all about Tutsis. It's not always, the world doesn't revolve around Tutsis. You have millions of men. If you look at the suffering of the Congolese people, it's ridiculous. They basically, if I say Nigerians live like animals, those guys live like, I don't know, wild animals. They have to be running from conflict after conflict after conflict because this man sits there and pretends as if he doesn't know what he's causing in the next door neighbor's house. Same because they are discriminated against how many thousand Tutsis. Welcome to the world, Mr. Kagame. If you are a minority, you tend to face discrimination. If you didn't know that in a democracy, that is what happens in a democracy. Go and ask the Red Indians. If you are in a minority, you face discrimination. Look at America right now. You are a minority, you face discrimination. It's just what it is. But in Africa, oh no, it's unacceptable. Why would the Tutsis ever allow the majority to rule? Because the majority should never rule. I still can't believe till now that this man is from a tribe that is a minority in the country that he rules over. I still can't believe it. And he acts with all kinds of righteous indignation. And he's been ruling the country for 25 years. Where is democracy? Where is democracy there? And look at the GDP per capita of Rwanda. You would think by now it should be like 5,000, 10,000, given how people are praising him. He's still languishing around 1,000 something dollars per citizen. The so-called miracle of Africa. And I also went further. I just didn't use the data and the population of Tutsis in Congo to make this analysis. I also went and tried to find out how many times and how many organizations have reported that Rwanda is profiting from Congolese natural resources. You can't believe how many. From the UN, from Greenpeace, Amnesties, African organizations, many of them, SADC, all of them have reported that Rwanda is ripping Congo off its resources. And how do you think he can be able to do that? A Tutsi president in office, how do you think he can do that? He will use the Tutsis in Rwanda to do it. And as we speak, Rwandan soldiers are inside Congo. What gives this man the impetus, the power to do what he is doing? If you are saying they are disturbing you inside your country, why don't you just remain in your border and fight back? If anybody tries to shoot you, you shoot them back from your border. Why are you going inside the country? If you are so innocent, you are taking up land, reinforcing M23 so that M23 can advance further. Man, some people are just downright wicked. Some people will rather burn their continent just so that their people will be on top. They don't care whether they rule over the rebels. This is wickedness. And we've never really spoken about this before. The wickedness that is going on in that Central African this region. Maybe it's also going on in East Africa. We think West Africa is bad. What is going on in East Africa and Central Africa is awful. Where minorities just run roughshod over other people because Western people empower them. And they don't care. This stupid Kagame will be happy to sit there making money and eating and being comfortable while DRC remains like that. And he will be profiting from it. This is the kind of nonsense that we want to get rid of from this continent. And this man spent decades making it look like he's such an innocent and cool guy. Now you understand why he's able to criticize the West and still remain in power. In a country of about 14 million people, 15 million people, he's able to criticize the West, and he's also from a minority group inside that country and still remain in power. Now you understand. Because he's doing the bidding of the West. He's doing the bidding of the East. He's doing the bidding of superpowers out there. When the people that own the resources are living like animals. It's almost like, I don't even know any country that can behave like that. Maybe like Benin Republic doing that to Nigeria. How are Nigerians going to feel? Maybe, and you know, Benin Republic has a lot of Yoruba people, and the same thing in Nigeria. So that is a massive population of Yoruba people in Nigeria. But can you imagine if Yorubas were just about 1% of Nigeria population, or even less, and Benin Republic use that 1% to oppress Nigeria and cause so much problem inside Nigeria? Nigerians will lose it. And DRC, their population is 7 times more than that of Rwanda. So how is Rwanda able to do all this stuff to them? Rwanda M23 even defeated the mercenaries that DRC government brought in. You see, this one is a teaching moment for Nigerians. You see why I've been warning people never to go for mercenaries. Mercenaries will betray you. They are there for the paycheck. They are not there to fight to save you. They are not there. They will betray your country. They surrendered to the M23, and the M23, guess where they send them to? Rwanda again. A tiny population using their satellite nation, which is barely their own satellite nation. It's just because the person is running the country. They are a minority in that country too. What kind of madness is this? What kind of madness is this? The Tutsis are minorities in Rwanda, and they are even a bigger minority in Congo. And yet these people are causing so much problem. And Kagame brings the issue up and make it sound as if it's a tribal issue. It's not even a tribal issue. It's a stability issue. It's a people that refuse to allow the government to govern. Yes, the Congolese government is entirely useless too. Because how can you have a country of over 100 million being oppressed by a country of barely 15 million? You can't raise an army that will flush these people out of that place. African leaders, they've shown themselves to be extremely, extremely duplicitous and weak. And this is one of the reasons why when I say that the Nigerian military is very small, this is one of the reasons why. Because if Nigeria has a sizable military, if I get my way, we'll have 2 million standing military. And if we have 2 million, we send 50,000 to that country, we'll wipe all these useless people out that are causing this problem. Every time South Africa wants to send soldiers to DRC, they will send 1,000. When Kenya wants to send soldiers to DRC, 1,000. What is 1,000? What is 1,000? What is 1,000 going to do? You just go in there and creating a pipeline for your country to be stealing money too. They are not there to help. They just go there to go and steal and compound the problem. And this is one of the reasons why I'm infuriated by this. Normally, I would have moved on from the DRC issue. Is because when I watch their people have suffered for such a long, long time. There has never been any time you go, it's just too much. It's just too much. They've gone on like this. Let me play this video about this lady that was infuriated by the suffering of these people. I got a video a while ago, more than a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. Just hear what she's got to say about the DRC people.
Are you aware of the genocide happening right now in Congo? No, of course not. America is distracting you with Israel. Yeah, okay. Let me bring your attention back to what really matters. Because the reason why Congo is even divided as the Republic of Congo and Congo-Brazzaville as of right now is because of the same people that we're going to talk about today. Hi, my name is Valerie Ida, and I'm the host. For those of you that don't know, there is a huge genocide happening right now in Congo, and women are being raped, and women are being 50 people per hour. Yes, I want you to hear that. Because why? Your nation, America, France, Britain, Israel, want Israel. All these nations that act like they're so rich but are really poor, not only in mindset, but in ethics, morality, because essentially politics is really business. Let me tell you something. These people are greedy. Congo is the way it is now. Congo has never seen a day of grace, joy, laughter, since the killing of Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba. They have not had peace. They have always been divided because other nations, the real third world countries, come stealing from us, raping our women, paying and creating militias within our own people, turning them against each other, giving them resources and things access to take out our own. Meanwhile, the people work there under labor conditions that are not even to be spoken of. Coltan is found. They have to dig. Those people risk their lives digging to get this coltan that you take, you sell, you make iPhones that are worth thousands of dollars. You're making all these. Meanwhile, the places that you're getting these things from, the people, water, clean water they don't have, bread they don't have, but you're still greedy. When do you not think is enough? Go search Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba when he died, when he was alive. How many years ago was that? You have not let Congo breathe. Every day you want more. You want access to more. And you want it without paying for it. I'm sorry, when can I walk into a store in America and walk out with bags of Louis Vuitton items and not pay for it? But you feel like you can do that and distract the world with BS while you are the real criminals. You're the real scammers. You want to call Nigerian scammers? Do you know Indians sit here and scam your system all day? Why do you think they have liquor shops and mobile shops all day? Gas stations. Because when they want to, they'll set a fire, file a BS insurance claim, and now they have a brand new store. Now they have a chain of 3 other stores. Ask them how they make their money. Since you want to call us scammers, you've been getting scammed since you've existed. America's the #1 scam of the entire globe. You tell people to come here for a better life after you've ruined their lands, and then make it upsell this like it's the place to be. Meanwhile, you don't own anything. And the black people here really think they're citizens. No, you're just residing here, and after you die, you're gonna go about your business. They're gonna dump your body and not find any relevance to you like they do with anybody else. It's interesting that the people who are the biggest fugitive criminals, liars, con artists have the most to say about everybody else. It's always the ones. It's always them. Congo is suffering. You're not tired. People are dying. You want more. Those people have given you. You're taking everything from them, and nothing in your damn conscience makes you say, when do I draw the line? It's about greed. You want more at the expense of people's lives. And you're not going to talk about it in the news, because why would you ever tell on yourself? You make me sick, and I spit on this nation. Let me tell you something. We've been going through this for hundreds of years. You won't see any glory. All you lands, the only continent that will prosper is Africa. All of you, this, I just want to let you know that you're getting introduced to how you're going to end. All you nations are getting introduced to how you're going to end. Because everything you've thrown at us to break us, built us to be the greatest, but you're going to see how that's going to eliminate all of you. Because you're not built like us. You know, I could stand in the sun and I'm gaining strength. You stand in the sun and you prune. You're dying. Because God doesn't like ugly. Anything that's of him absorbs light. You can't absorb it. It bounces off you. Because what is God-like in you to even reflect God-like out of you? You make me sick. All of you nations make me sick. I'm disgusted. There is nothing human about this. There is no humanity. You've lost all of your marbles. All of it. And you just keep finding more puppets to play your games. All of you will have no peace. Yo, what? As you have forcefully stepped into seats and forcefully taken what's not yours, just wait. Olugo, it's time. What? Yo. Those people deserve a break. They deserve a united Congo. They deserve happiness, joy, laughter, dance. Africa needs everything you're taking away from it. I'm like, yo, you're killing my people, yo. And you sit here and expect me to treat y'all with kindness? You want love and respect? You don't have that decency in your blood. Yo, y'all are not human. Animals treat each other better than y'all treat. God, no. God, no. Why do we have to fight over grace and kindness? I want war. My people haven't gotten a breath. Colton, greed, oil, resources. Nothing is enough. Hey, God, this world is wicked, bro. It's wicked. And the people who live there half the time don't know what's going on. They can't keep track. Y'all are wicked. And everything coming your way, you deserve it. No warnings. May God continue to sama una. Yes, you deserve it. You getting wiped out by hurricanes. Oh well.
Yeah, I think I don't share her opinion on this racial stuff, but in terms of the passion she was showing, this is a while ago. This is not even including these recent events. This is a while ago she made this comment because the Congolese have gone through hell. There has never been 1 year, I don't know in how many decades that country hasn't gone through one thing or the other. It just never ends. And I don't know what kind of people that they have there and the kind of people that are just causing problems for them. This is one of those areas that I feel like, Nigeria as one of the most populous nations in Africa, if they had a powerful force, this is where Nigeria could have been very, very useful. You go there and you pacify this place once and for all. Because Congo has so much potential. The massive land mass, massive resources, power generation is going to charge Africa up. This is a country that had a nuclear power plant, for crying out loud. That they were building it and they were just laid in their way. And since then, they've never recovered. What have they done to deserve it? Just because they want to live well? And, and they are basically just like every other black people on the face of the earth, suffering continuously. It just never seems to end. It just never seems to end. Every time they are moving from one region to another, oh, M23 is here again. There is a fight going on. We need to they are moving from one region to another. And so and so and so, the people have been displaced. On and on and on and on. It never ends. What's that? You stop using the word stuff when presenting. It sounds unprofessional. What do you mean, the word stuff? Yeah, isn't it stuff? Oh, I hear what you are saying. Oh, yeah. You mean stuff when I say stuff. Okay. I will see what I got. I think to be fair, I'm not trying to be too professional. I'm more like trying to be truthful. And I guess I use that stuff quite a lot, isn't it? Yeah. All right. So I will move on from that. What is AU doing and what is ECOWAS doing? It's not in their region, you see, especially ECOWAS. And as you can see, ECOWAS has its own wahala right now with the AES. ECOWAS, they are behaving like Kagame too. Most of the leaders of ECOWAS, they seem to be representative of what the West wants. They don't seem to be representing their own people's interests, and this is part of the excuse or reason the I think it's the AES they gave the Sahel nations they gave for leaving ECOWAS. So from that point of view, ECOWAS has their own issues right now to deal with. They have their hands full, and Nigeria is not in a good place to be able to handle the crisis in the Congo. As a matter of fact, if Nigerians decide to move in there, a lot of Nigerians will be angry with the Nigerian government. They will like, oh, you have a lot of insecurity in Nigeria, so why are you going to that the country to go and help them? You know, we have a lot of problems in Nigeria. And part of this problem, this is why I kept saying that Nigeria needs to recruit a lot more. You know, we have 220 million population. We are the most populated country in Africa, and we have a lot of good to do. If Nigeria had about 2 million standing army now, 50,000 is like a scratch. And if you send 50,000 Nigerian soldiers there, that DRC, that Eastern DRC will be pacified. How many troops does Kagame have? Is it not 35,000? What does he have? And if he decides to mess about, then they send Nigerian troops in there and calm their mouth down. They've caused so much trouble. And it's, you know how Nigerians complain about Fulanis sometimes, where you have some minorities want to dominate the majority, but the Fulanis are not like that. I don't know why. In the case of Nigeria, it's not true, but in the case of Rwanda and there is some truth there. A minority wants to rule constantly. You can't make that kind of look at 25 years Kagame has been in office. He's Tutsi, and it's supposed to be a democracy. What kind of attitude is that? Why has he not groomed a Hutu to take over from him to set a good example? Is he telling me that 25 years is not enough time to even raise a child from the womb to become in the image, the perfect image he wants? He doesn't have 25 years. He had 25 years. He hasn't done that. And he's still ruling. He's a Tutsi, a minority in a country that has just been through genocide because one side feels like you are against the other side. And now you've transferred that same attitude to the next country, the country next door to you. You are making it about Tutsis again. You are saying you are not making it about Tutsis, but then what are you making it as? You are saying it's Tutsis that own the land. It's Tutsis that do this. Even you go online, people are saying Tutsis own that area. Tutsis make up less than 1% of the population of Congo. How can they own so much of the natural resources of Congo if they make up that kind of tiny minority? How can they? It's impossible to own the whole place. Even the towns that they said Tutsis are supposed to be mostly residing, they are still a minority there, like in North Kivu and South Kivu. Check the information yourself. This information, this area, they've had so many chaotic, false information going round and round. It's exhausting. False narrative. And I'm glad I'm doing this because you guys are one of the first to hear some of the stuff I'm telling you. Nobody will tell you this. And they keep talking, oh, it's Tutsis. No, it's not. It's not none of the nonsense people are talking about. Because if you think about it, just think about it now. The Congolese president is also a traitor to his people. He's useless. He's going to betray the people and sell most of the resources to Western companies or Chinese or whoever. And Kagame is doing the same thing. So what is the difference between them? Why are they fighting? Because they are creating the conditions that the Western people prefer or the foreigners prefer. They are creating the conditions that both of them are in a way symbiotic. They are working for each other, whether they know it or not. This is the problem. We get this type of dynamics in Nigeria too. Why do you think sometimes I tell you that Nnamdi Kanu and the government, they are on the same side? Because in the end, what they represent is creating chaos for the people. That's what both sides are doing. I don't see one side being genuinely for the people. The same thing is happening with Kagame and this Congolese president. Because you can say, okay, fine, Kagame is rubbish. How about the Congolese president? How useless can it be that you are in a country with over 100 million people and you cannot raise an army to defend your borders? How useless can you be? How useless can you be? How useless can you people be? You cannot educate your citizens to understand that just because you are from a tribe doesn't mean your national identity matters less. You know, this topic became a topic. Really, I'm supposed to be covering the entire news this in update. It became a topic because this Congo conflict has been going on and on and on and on and on and on. The same thing with the Syrian one. We can't keep going on like this. We have to confront this truth for what it truly is. Kagame has to go. The DRC leader probably has to go too. I don't see him doing much to change the predicament of his country. Instead, he went and got mercenaries, Uyibo mercenaries, to come and defend his interests. How did that go? That didn't go very well, did it? And then South African forces that went there, and some people accuse the South Africans of going there to defend their own companies too, which you can't blame them for trying to go there for their own interests. But if they didn't go there to help maintain peace, you can see why the people are not on their side. If the people are on your side, you are probably going to win whatever conflict you are fighting. And they go there and they lost, from what some people say, I think officially they say they lost about 19 soldiers. But people that are on the ground are saying they lost 40 something, 50 soldiers to the M23. Imagine a small country like Rwanda and its military are killing South African military. A country that is technically a nuclear power, really. Who empowers this man to be doing all these things? Who empowered him? You know, we used to celebrate Kagame, isn't it? Most Pan-Africanists and people that feel like Africa needs to have its own voice. We used to praise Kagame a lot, thinking that this guy means well and all that. You notice that video that I played, the lady said something about the West, you know, raises people on the continent, gives them resources to oppress their people. This is one of them. He talks as if he's not a tribalist, but he's actually the biggest tribalist amongst all of them. Because clearly, where it matters most, he didn't show himself to be non-tribalist by stepping down and hand over to people from the other tribe. Do that. They will believe you. And some people still accuse his government of, in Rwanda right now, most of the key positions are held by the same tribe. You know, let me see if I can find information of the demographics of Rwanda. Let me see demographics of Rwanda. This is a recipe for disaster. You can't have a nation that is like this. It's not nice. It's just not right. You can't have a nation that you have a minority group, you know, kind of dominating the population of the all the affairs of the country like that. It's just not right. Let me see. Let's see, French. I'm trying to find the population of Tutsis, ethnic Hutus make up. Okay, no. Let me share this so you guys can see, because if I am saying this, people don't fully understand how really bad this is, because I don't think West African countries will take this nonsense. You know, you say whatever you like about Nigeria will not take Nigerians will take this rubbish. They would take this rubbish lie down. They were like, this is too much. Oh. We can't start this. We have to sort this affairs out quickly. Nigerians won't take this nonsense. Just look at. You see, when Nigerians are complaining about Nigeria, you need to watch what other countries are doing that are even worse. Look at Rwanda now. Rwanda that people like to praise a lot. Now look at the population. The Rwandan population largely consists of three ethnic groups. The Hutus comprise the majority of the population, 85%. That is a Hutu nation, period. Then, and Farmer Bantu are Farmer Bantu origin. The Tutsis, 14% of the population, probably before the genocide, but now they make up about 10% of the population. It means the Tutsi population right now is around 10% of Rwanda's population. Wow. You know, People, I don't understand people sometimes. I really don't understand people. Why is it that they don't share this type of information when they are talking about Rwanda or Congo and all? Why don't they share this information? Because this is at the core of why that genocide happened in the first place. And the stuff is still continuing the same way. And it's like we create a potential explosive conflict for ourselves in this on this continent. We create a potential explosive conflict on this continent by allowing such a dynamics to remain in place. How is it 85% of that country hardly controls the nation? How is that possible? How can many East African nations, Central African nations, SADC, ECOWAS, AU allow this to happen? If you believe in democracy truly in Africa, this shouldn't be happening. Minorities should have their say. As they say, Nigerians, they like to say that a lot. While majority have their way. Yeah, that's Nigeria saying. So, where is the majority? Majority is nowhere to be seen on the calendar. And no wonder Kagame never does an election. What a disgraceful leader. I really abhor that man now. Before I was reserving judgment until I took my time to look at the data behind everything that is going on. He's an abhorrent human being. How can you do that to a people? If this was Nigeria, Nigeria will implode overnight. Like, they will implode. Where you have a small minority versus I can't even believe 85% of the population is Hutu. 85%. And if this page is on demographics of Rwanda. Now, if I check demographics of Congo, I don't think Tutsis will even show up. That's how tiny they are in population. They wouldn't even show up in the radar. So why are Tutsis the center of so much controversy on the continent? Why are they at the heart of so much controversy if they make up such a small proportion of the population? What is going on? Why has no one bothered to look at the core of this problem? Some people say the French that are causing the problem, this is that gave them so much power and empowered them. I can understand that if it was only in Rwanda it happened, but now it is shifting to this thing and Congo too. And even within Rwanda, after that conflict, I would have thought that it would have been resolved. I really would have thought it would have been resolved by now. The issue of that tension between Tutsis and Hutus, and the government will be made up of people from both tribes, and they will be sharing power. That kind of system. You put a system in place to reinforce trust, but you don't see that. I don't see that. Kagame has been in power for how many years now? 25 years or so. 25 years straight. There are many Nigerians today, as a matter of fact, maybe majority of Nigerians were not born when Kagame took over that country. Because Nigeria is quite a young country now. Maybe most of Nigerians were not even born when Kagame took over the country. Now, this is the Congolese demographics. If you check, you probably wouldn't even hear the word. If I search the word Tutsi, you wouldn't even see it on their page. Because they make up such a tiny minority that it's not even worth mentioning on the page. The way you mention it everywhere else, it's not worth mentioning. Look at that, ethnic groups. Look at the ethnic groups there. Okay, I think this is where you see the ethnic groups. Where is the Tutsis here? No, there are no Tutsis here, or even on the list, because they can't show up. It's less than 1%. They can't show up. Why has no one bothered to ask this question? And this should be at the core of the question of what is going on in that region. We are living in a democracy where everybody is supposed to be equal. You can't have a people allot to themselves special treatment that without them, the entire region should burn. How about all these lives that we see on the chart? Don't they matter? Don't they matter? It's just not edifying at all. I really wish there was more information about this. You see, you know, Congo almost resembles Nigeria to an extent, because if you look at the others is 48%. That other includes Tutsis and all the rest of it. It's almost like Nigeria, where the minorities make up a bigger proportion of the population than any other major group. Oh, there, you look at this one. He said, I'm taking other people's headache. It's not just other people's headache. It's also our problem, because these things affect us too. If Congo is doing very well, maybe most of our people are not going to be running to Western Congo. They will be running to Congo. And it's not very far. The trip to Congo and back to Nigeria is cheaper. You know, life will be better for you. You see, the way we think about stuff tend to be a little bit, I don't know how to. We don't think far when we say things. We don't think far. You know, it's like when people think about tribalism, they don't think far. Because, like, why can't you see that when you are in a country and you are dealing with a national issue, you should think as a nationalist? Because it's not every time, it's not because you have to love it, it's not because you have to like it, because it is necessary. That is how it is supposed to be. Because if you, let's say you are a parent from a, your parent was, you are a father yourself and a husband and all the rest, you have children, and you have a parent that was also a religious person, that was a religious person and all, but you went on to do a job, let's say in a hotel, where all kinds of people come through, maybe not even Christians, or some of them are even just carrying their side chick there to have fun and all the rest. You are working in such an environment, or even teaching. Some people even do teaching. Or it doesn't matter. Whatever job you are doing, you don't like it even. A lot of people get to do jobs they don't like. Why? Because they understand that that job they don't like is good for them in the bigger scheme of things. It's going to be good for their family. It's going to be good for the child's education and all the rest. That's how we should see national identity. The idea that when you are talking about national identity, some people bring up, oh, I'm from this tribe, I'm from that tribe. It's just not helping, because you don't go to that hotel or that school that you are teaching and start saying, oh, I'm from this tribe, I'm from that tribe, so you have to do this. No, because if you do that, they will sack you, and then what's going to happen to your family? And people don't do that because it makes sense not to do that, because you're going to lose immediately. So, but why is it that we translate that to a national debate? Why is it that we look at it from a national point of view and we start thinking tribalism all the time? It makes me feel like some people are actually retarded when they think like that. They're a little bit backward, because you don't seem to understand that if your nation does well, you do well too. Just like if you go and do that job that you don't like, you get paid. You get paid. It's just what it is. It's not a zero-sum game where, oh, just because that tribe wins, you lose. You don't lose. You gain. As long as you all function and work together, you gain. Everybody cannot gain the same thing. It's impossible. Everybody cannot gain the same thing in any nation. It's impossible. And the fact that some people spend more time destroying their nation in the name of trying to equalize. That kind of mumu thinking, that's a different layer of mumu thinking that some people need to really educate themselves out of. And if you are on this broadcast listening to what I'm saying here, really think about it, because these things are very, very vital. You have to understand how to approach societies. Like me now, if I hear that, some part of Nigeria is doing better than the region where I'm from, so what? The important thing is the nation doing better? Because I can travel to that region. I can my region is probably going to do better because I'm doing better. How many times do you hear that in the UK, you hear that, one region in the UK is living like Nigeria, that the living standard in that region is like Nigeria? No, but yet in the UK, the living standard is not the same everywhere. But generally, they are all better off. That's how it's supposed to work. And I don't believe in all this tribalist stuff. And in the case of DRC, it seems to be a big problem. Because that man, when that I played this video, he did say that everybody has to defend themselves. Every tribe seems to be arming itself and defend itself in DRC. The same thing almost happened in Nigeria. And I still say it today that many of our fellow Nigerians that go about there, they are ready right now. I can tell you that right now. If we people call them and say, take this weapon, I will help you fight to become your own country, many Nigerians will take that gun. Isn't that a problem? That kind of thinking, you can see how problematic it is, because that's what Congolese are doing. And look at their country, they are tearing it to pieces. Because they feel like they have to defend their own country. They have to defend their own country. And I spoke to a Congolese the other day, and I asked him that don't they have any nationalists that when he talks, everybody listen to him? He said they have them. Then I said, then why are they not in power? He said because these ones are the ones that are ordained by Belgium, France, and the US. And he literally said that is where things are. I'm like, but things don't have to be like that. You can't just accept it. You know, this is another thing I picked up from the Congolese. I just hope he's hearing me, because I did say that he should check us out. That some of these things that was going on, that they believe that is like a fait accompli, that whoever rules them has to come from those nations. Belgium, France, and the US have to come together, select those people. You can't keep surrendering to that. That's why I told him, you have to figure out a way to get your own person in office. Because if you get people that these people ordain, you get somebody that is also tribally oriented. And that person would never build a nation, because he's not a nationalist. How can a tribalist be a nationalist? And it's a very strange term to use, isn't it? Because I don't see being a nationalist being against tribal interest. I just see tribalism, that's when we say tribalism, it's just a more, for want of a better word, it's just a retarded way of thinking, really. Undeveloped and refined way of thinking of things. Because if you care about your tribe so much, then why do you do so much to destroy it? Because then you are just reacting like, you know, just because, you know, like a family member is in danger in a building, you set the building on fire. How does that even work? It's a primitive way of thinking. You don't set the building on fire because your family members are also going to perish. But this is what many tribalists do on the continent. Because you know what they are thinking? When they set the fire is going to burn the thing that they don't like inside that property, but their family member is going to survive it somehow. That's their thinking. Even if the results shows over and over again that is not the case. Their family members will suffer just as much as other people. And this topic has exercised me long enough for today. I will now move on to other topics. I think this thing will run and run, because I worry that they are trying to take over the government of the DRC. Can you imagine M23 taking over the DRC? What a sacrilegious situation we are in now. A minority people in another country that they are bigger minorities, are going to go and take over the government of another country. Hey, wonders shall never cease. Now you see why I say Nigeria needs to get its act together, because if someone like me or somebody that listens to me was in Nigeria, this nonsense will not be happening. We'll put that down immediately. If you don't like it, go and eat dust. Can't have nonsense where you just keep causing trouble all over the continent because it suits you. Enough of it. So now let's move on to Trump. You know, we all love Trump. Let's all those people that love Trump say hi. All those people that love Trump, they should say hi. Let me see. Let me just read some of the comments, because I've been ignoring all the people that are there. You mean we don't know to think big? Yeah. Our people don't know how to think big. They don't know how to think big enough. We think reactively. We think reactively. It's like, when you see, like, some people now, when they see some things happening in some region of the country that they feel like is better than theirs, they will just react and say, no, we don't want it. That is cheating. You shouldn't do that. It's tribal. They just react. They don't look at it like, okay, fine. That thing is still in my nation. I have access to it. It's also mine. And tomorrow, when you want to build, the other side too should see the same thing. That thing is in their nation. And they also do have access to it. They are going to benefit from it too. Your nation is just a new form of your tribe, a new tribe. People seem to associate tribe to being some kind of divine creation. Like, when you're born into a tribe, you can never leave. I was speaking to someone some time ago, and he said, "Oh no, you can't. Once you're born into a tribe, you can't change." I'm like, where did you get that one from? You can probably join a tribe faster than you can join a nation, another nation. To get citizenship in another nation, it may actually be harder than joining a tribe. You join a tribe, you can just go to the chief, do some good things in the town, get to the chief, get some good relationship, and they will they will give you chieftaincy title. And then, or you can just even go through the hardcore way. You just do what needs to be done, because there are processes that can allow you to join a tribe. Every tribe has it. There are processes that you can follow, that you become members of that tribe. I don't think most people know that. There are processes that are put in place for people from another tribe to be able to join another tribe. It's even easier to do than joining another nation. But somehow people make it look like, oh my God, my tribe comes first. If you ask 90% of Nigerians will tell you that their tribe comes first before their nation. And by a distant first, we're not talking about even close, like big. They don't see their nation as that important at all. But I said, let's get back to Trump. This issue of the DEI. I found it fascinating because that shocked me a little bit. I try to cover news that people don't cover enough of, because I think it that if you are joining me here, you probably go out there, you do consume news, you are quite well informed about things. The area I try to cover are the areas people don't tend to talk enough about, and that even I didn't know, because I discovered something new, so I want to share that new part. My news is new news. It's like news, the new news from news. That's what it is. I'm learning new things from the news that I find that is not necessarily out there. So, like this DEI stuff that Trump was complaining about, tragically, there was a plane crash in America. That plane crash was not, it was needless. It didn't need to happen. But yes, it did. And everyone in the aircraft all perished. And then this is what the president had to say about it. Let me play it so you guys can hear. This is the core of it, actually, what he said.
His diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. That is amazing. And then it says FAA says people with severe disabilities are most underrepresented segment of the workforce, and they want them in, and they can be air traffic controllers. I don't think so. I think it's just the opposite. The FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. That is amazing. And then it says FAA says people with severe disabilities are most underrepresented segment of the workforce, and they want them in, and they can be air traffic controllers. I don't think so.
You guys have heard it, what he's going to say. He doesn't think that, he thinks people that are DEI are like minorities, and when they think about it, it's black people they are thinking about. It's funny because he's talking about disability, people with disability there. But now let's hear the truth of the what DEI truly represents in this thing in America, and whom are the people that benefit from DEI?
Want to say it, but she really wanted to be like, but I'm not black. But that's not what diversity, equity, inclusion meant. The number one recipient of DEI hires is white women. The number one people who have benefited the most from this whole affirmative action and DEI hired has been white women, 100%. And now all these white women who voted for Donald Trump are going to find out that DEI included them. And I'm sorry, but this is one of the best fuck around and find out moments yet, because these women are the ones who deserve to be fired. I'm sorry. Like, if you voted for Donald Trump and you get fired because you were a DEI hire, don't come looking to me for sympathy.
This post reads, veterans didn't know they were DEI hires because everyone thinks DEI means black. And this is the same thing that happened with affirmative action, because white women benefited the most from affirmative action, but got mad because they thought that people of color, black people, were getting admitted to college in place of them and didn't deserve to be. And the reason that the propaganda around affirmative action and diversity, equity, inclusion has worked this way is because of racism. And at a certain point, you have to realize that a lot of these people are grown adults who have the ability to look stuff up. Most of these veterans who do vote, most of these people getting into colleges who do vote, have the ability to look up what these actually are instead of listening to a charismatic man on a stage tell them what it means. And again, the reason that the propaganda works is because of the racism.
The real F around and find out moment is here. A lot of people are looking at the Black community thinking that we are the recipients and benefactors of DEI programs and affirmative action programs. And I know affirmative action is no longer, but whenever they hear the term DEI or they hear the term affirmative action, they look to the Black community thinking that we are the benefactor. Now, here's some information for you. The number one recipient of DEI are white women. That is according to the U.S. Department of Labor. And others fall under that group, under the minority group, the ethnic minority. Number one recipient under that group are Latino and Hispanic Americans. Number two are Asian Americans. Number three are Native Americans. Number four, individuals with disability. Number five, veterans. Okay? And number six, the LGBTQ plus community. And guess who comes last at receiving DEI benefits? Guess who comes last? That's right. Black Americans, Black people. Let me also say, you can do a Google search and you will see the primary benefactors of DEI programs are not only white women, but white men, white male CEOs. Those are the ones who have benefited the most from DEI initiative programs.
DEI did not benefit Black people en masse. It benefited a couple of token Blacks. And I'm sorry, y'all gonna lose your little token benefits. But DEI did not benefit the masses of African people. Barack Obama is the first president to use the words diversity, equity, and inclusion in his DEI initiative that he signed in August of 2011, mandating that the federal government take steps to diversify, include, and guarantee equity for minorities. But it was all about the rainbow. That law was about immigrants and rainbow gangers. It was not about Black people. Yes, you have a few Black people who are going to lose some DEI benefits, but we are 42 million. And when we add our African immigrant brothers and sisters in, we're about 45, 48. I'm going to round it up because they always suppress our numbers. I'm going to round it up to 50 million Africans in America. Somebody help me understand how Barack Obama's DEI has benefited Black people in these past 16 years. Help me understand. Affirmative action is not the same as DEI. Affirmative action was destroyed by George Bush in the opening years of the 21st century. He destroyed it. The Supreme Court destroyed it. Affirmative action has not been a governmental priority since Lyndon Baines Johnson. Affirmative action has been dead. Affirmative action been dead. That's why Barack Obama called it diversity, equity, and inclusion. Why didn't Barack Obama call it affirmative action? Barack Obama didn't call it affirmative action because he didn't want it associated with Black people. He didn't want it associated with Black people. You're fighting for something that was not created to help you. Let me say it again for the kunocracy in the back. You're fighting for something that was not created to help you. They are distracting you from your main fights. We should be fighting against mass incarceration. We should be fighting against miseducation. We should be fighting against police genocide. We should be fighting against economic apartheid. We should be fighting against homelessness and gentrification. Not Nelly for performing, not Snoop Dogg, not Black History, and not DEI.
DEI is an acronym. People who don't understand the acronym will not understand what it means. So it needs to be explained. Talking about diversity, equity, and
the DEI. You hear me? With or without that regulation, everyone will get treated equal with me.
Next time you hear someone say they agree with Donald Trump rolling back all DEI efforts, ask them what it stands for. Say, what does DEI stand for? I had this exact conversation just a few days ago with someone, and they were going on and on about how much they hate DEI and how, you know, someone in their industry, a woman, has a much higher up position than this particular person did, and it was a DEI hire and all this other stuff. I said, what does DEI stand for? I don't know. You don't know what DEI stands for, but you're bitching about it? DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Inclusion. Oh my God. Horrible. Horrible inclusion, a little inclusion, fucking horrible. What we teach our fucking kids. Horrible stuff, all you God-loving people. God forbid we teach inclusion. But seriously though, say, what does it mean? What does it stand for? Because they don't even fucking know. And you know what it stands for? It stands for white Christian straight men being terrified that people are more qualified than them, and they're actually going to have to work harder to now get the jobs. They're going to have to work harder to prove that they deserve the job. You know what this person who was complaining about this woman being a DEI hire missed the entire point? She's way more qualified. Way more qualified. That's why she got the job. Not because she's a woman, because she's way more qualified than you, you small fucking white man. That's why. That's why, you dumbasses. Guys, just do a Google. Just learn what DEI stands for before we start complaining about it. And then also just try harder, work harder. White men don't deserve everything. White, straight, Christian men don't just deserve everything.
One thing you must.
So that is the discussion about DEI. As you can see, as always, we always tend to come last. We always tend to come last, even in things, in areas that you will think, at least people associate it to Black people. We don't get enough of it. You know where we tend to come first? Let me break it down to you. We tend to come first when it comes to Planned Parenthood. When they are going after our birth rate, they give us the most funding in America for Planned Parenthood. And guess where America sends most of its money when it comes to condoms in the world? Guess the percentage when it comes to family planning that America sends around the world. How many comes to Black nations like Africa for family planning? Can anybody give me a number? The percentage of what America, because America gives us a certain amount of money all over the globe for family planning and, you know, trying to make sure people have children at the right time, and you know how family planning goes. What is the percentage that is being sent to Africa of that resources? From what I gather, it's over 80%. 80% of that resources. There's nothing else in this world that America gives out that they give Africans that much percentage of. 80% of it is targeted towards Africa. They are doing everything to make sure our population drops like a stone. Some of them are even predicting that our birth rate is going to drop because of some of the actions that they have been taking. So this is what we are facing here. They target Africans in all the worst ways. And we sit here like many of us don't even have a clue that all these things are happening all around us. And we don't even know why things are bad for us because we can't understand it. And I really think that we need to be checking simple data, just simple information. Sometimes when you want to find out something, just ask yourself, okay, I hear what you're saying. Maybe there's some truth there, but let me just check the information underlying it. Let's see whether it's true. When you hear DEI, people just think it's black people. When you hear about corruption, scams, it's all about Nigerians. It's like ridiculous. We don't even make that much money from scam. Do you know how much the world is losing from scam all over the world every year? Nigerians don't even rank the 20th nation. We don't even rank in terms of the money that they get from it. Look at Trump. Trump left office. Does anyone know that when Trump left office the first time, Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, got $2 billion investment in his private equity company. $2 billion investment from Saudis. And we think we are corrupt. We've not seen corruption. We've not seen corruption yet. So now I'm going to go to the change the topic to now we are talking about Trump. The guy is busy deporting people left and right, and it turns out that black people are losing their mind, selling their neighbors out for $5,000 to ICE. Yeah, I hear that they are giving them $5,000 if you rat your neighbor out. That is an illegal immigrant. And people that go out to Africa, all these African markets in America, if you don't have your paper, don't go. don't go there. So if you want to go shopping for African food, you better send somebody with your papers. Because before you know it, you'll be at Motala International Airport and they will be welcoming you home. Abike Damiri will be welcoming you. Welcome. It is what it is. So, black people are going through the ringer, but I don't think we are the main target because our population is not significant. And I guess, many of our people that go over there, they are already bought into the American mindset. Many of them will not have many children anymore. They will have 2-parent homes and go and get a divorce. We always do this more than the people that taught us how to do it. Just like we go to church more than the people that gave us church. We'll go there and start behaving like them. We forget that, we are not them. They have advantage over you. You can't behave like people that have advantage over you because you don't have those properties that gave them that advantage. It's just, you can't measure your coat according to some other person's size. That is just wrong and wrong-headed. So this is what our people are facing. I'm just trying to look at the document. Let me just play this video anyway so you guys can have an idea. Because this video, I like it because it was talking mostly about Nigerian deportation. Because the deportation involves, Americans, Latinos, Hispanics more. But the African dimension in this topic is what this news was talking about. So I just thought, okay, let me just play this one so that we focus on Africans. And I'm quite interested in the Nigerian numbers versus other countries, how many of them they are deporting. All right, let me play this.
Africa in the United States that could reportedly face deportation back to their home country in the coming days. Now, the list, which shows data as of November of 2024, indicates that there are over 1,445,000 non-citizens in the United States that are going to be deported back to their home countries. Out of them, Mexico has topped the list with over 250,000 individuals facing deportation orders from the United States, followed by El Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua, among others. From Africa, out of the 47 countries that have been listed by the Immigration Office in the document, Somalia tops the list with more than 4,000 immigrants.
Are you looking at Ghana and Nigeria? That number is astounding there. That Ghana and Nigeria number is surprising. And Somalia too. Somalia is a tiny country. I think they make up about 20 million. And look at the amount of migrants that they are deporting.
It shows that we are underrepresented when it comes to this.
Or they don't know how to hide. Nigerians know how to hide. You know?
That's true.
4,000 and 90. How did they manage? Did they go to mosque when they catch them or something?
No, make I talk true. When Nigeria travel, the first thing most people they try to get na doku first before they start looking for pursuing other area. You understand me? So that kind of puts us in a better position.
Yeah, because if you look at this number there, it tells you something. Because look at Nigeria, it's like lower than Mauritania. Mauritania, the population is about 10, 12 million. Tiny population, maybe even 5 million. Even.
See, Nigeria, I always tell you that we are people that accuse us for something. They don't have the data to back up this fact. We are normally accused wrongly for stuff we don't know anything. But look at this number now. I guess what Nigeria is almost 220 million people. So when you do the percentage, Nigeria is far below.
Yeah, very underrepresented. Look at Ghana. Ghana is almost the same. While our population is about 6 times that of Ghana.
Thank you.
Like it's crazy.
So when
Nigerians are underrepresented on that list. Heavy.
Thank you. Underrepresented.
Man, I tell you, man, Nigerians know how to dodge, man. They know how to weave and dodge. Like you said, maybe they get their paper first. And you see, this number says a lot. It really does say a lot. Nigerians belong in their own class. Let's face it. They belong in their own class here.
You know that I always thought that there are millions of Nigerians in the US. When I checked the data, I was like, damn, why is this? Why are we always we make it seem as if Nigeria is empty? I saw the number like 500,000. Like, that's not much. UK has like 20 million citizens in the US.
Yeah, UK.
Yes, British. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you have to go now. That's colonial. This thing when they were taking over the continent now. That is massive now. You can't expect anything less. They should be about 20 million. The US is 300 million now, so it's massive. So from that point of view, I would have expected more actually, more than 20 million people that are of descendants from the United Kingdom in the US.
Our number shocked me when I saw this number. I was like, damn. I was expecting more, but when I saw it, okay.
Nigeria should be around 12,000 there it should be around 12,000.
12 or 20,000. 20,000 self, I will still nice. This is a small number. But
and given that they say we are the one that like to break the law. You see, where is all that scamming Nigerians now? And we scam the ICE people too. We scam and circle the ICE people. The ICE people couldn't recognize who is in Nigeria from who is not.
Look at Mauritania, look at Somalia. Just look at the number. Look at Guinea. These are countries with like 5 million people.
Yeah, that they are heavily overrepresented there. Mauritania is a tiny nation. It's like they've carried all of them. They're taking all of them in that country and sent them home because there are not that many in America in the first place, and they're packing almost everybody home. Nigeria, yes. Welcome, Emilokun.
You also need to also realize that a lot of these foreigners, they hide under the noise of Nigerians.
You think so?
Yeah, if you look at it, not that we don't have bad eggs amongst us, but largely we have good people who are law abiding, especially if people travel abroad.
Yeah,
you get the point. So I'm not even surprised with this number, sincerely speaking, and that's why we just have to drive the narrative properly. We make a lot of noise, and if you look at some criminals other day that are not even Nigerians, but because they are black, they claim Nigerians.
Yeah.
When you get them, you get the point. And the news is already out there. They will say they are Nigerians, whereas if you check properly their record, their books, you realize that these are maybe they are, they are other countries, they are just other citizens of other countries, and they just want to hide under the Nigerian name because that's the umbrella for criminality, kind of.
Yeah, I see. Just to be clear, because so we don't break the rules, I will move this live stream to my channel now, since you guys that are showing up here without their cameras on, I don't want to be breaking the rules. So if you want to continue watching, you want to continue watching the news update, you guys may want to come to this link, and if you also go to Niger channel, and you will see the live there. You just have to click and join the live. I have to go off now. I think, have I covered all the news I intended to cover? Okay, let me just cover one more before I go off, because I want to give all the Dr. Damages, people that are not going to move over, the chance to get the news, so that we can now go further into this conversation. Well, clearly Nigerians are not, one of the things I got from this is that Nigerians are underrepresented here. That we are, beloved migrants. People love us, and we like Massa so much. Massa doesn't want to send us home, and who knows? We'll figure that one out when we have.
What do you mean underrepresented?
In terms of the number of people compared to our population, the number of Nigerians that have been deported are quite low.
No, don't peddle that narrative. You should paint this information positively. We are not underrated. We are. This shows that we are good people. That's the meaning.
Yeah.
What is the population of Nigerians even in the US? Let us even compare that so that we can really see what this is. How many of them are? These are what we should push forward.
Yeah, we are saying that like when you look at the list, that shows that we don't break the law like that.
Exactly. So not that we are represented. I get the point, but the idea is that it's better we should say that we are better. We are doing good things. We are law abiding. That is what this is telling us. An average Nigerian keeps his books. To be sincere, you know that you won't have bad eggs amongst us. Of course, in a population of 200 million people, you would have a lot of bad eggs. You get
all right. Let me just use this audio to transition. So, viewers, thank you for joining us. Look at the link on the screen. When you go to that link, you'll be able to subscribe, and you'll be able to you will see the live feed, and you'll be able to join. Just click it, and you'll be able to join us. We have to go off now because some people here decide that they don't want their camera on, and it's not necessarily, it's not acceptable by the standards. So I have to make sure I keep to the rules. We keep saying that we have to learn how to follow rules. We have to learn how to. I have to set the example too. All right. So now I will play this short audio to transition. All right.
2 or 3 things have happened. One, the devaluation of the currency. Official rates have gone from about 424.50 to about 1,550 odd at the end of the year. So that has driven our cost structures up drastically. So in payment for diesel has gone from pre-COVID times from 200-300 naira to 1,000 plus naira. Petrol.
FAA says people with severe disabilities are most underrepresented segment of the workforce, and they want them in, and they want them. They can be air traffic controllers. I don't think so.
Whenever they hear the term DEI, or they hear the term affirmative action, they look to the black community, thinking that we are the benefactor. Now, here's some information. The number one recipient of DEI
owns and everything, electric car batteries and everything. And these minerals are in abundance in the eastern part of the Congo. Are you following me? Government forces are fighting to take the eastern part of the Congo away from the Tutsi. The Democratic Republic of Congo government is not being very honest. The truth is, they are fighting to take away the eastern part of the Congo, so that.
All right. We are now back only to the 2 Niger channel. Now all these rascals without cameras on can reign supreme, and the Emi Lokun will come into his true self and start challenging everything anybody says. This is what he does. Whenever he doesn't have camera on, he starts making trouble. Everybody. so I think this electricity was asking in one context. Let me understand what you are trying to say, Emiloku. You were saying something about that we shouldn't look at it like we Nigerians
No,
know
when you see underrepresented, the idea I get is that you're expecting more numbers.
Yes.
Are you getting it?
Based on our population.
Based on our population, and I don't even think it's maybe based on also the news, the narrative out there. You get the point. An average Nigerian is seen as a criminal compared to other nations and things like that. But the thing is that this is the US data, not that we even concocted this data ourselves. This is what they themselves brought out. And the next, the more information I would have loved to see is what is the total population of Nigerians in the diaspora in the US, so that we can even have a better idea and a better picture of what percentage this is. And that should be a narrative for us that come, because at least there's one beautiful narrative that amongst the ethnic minorities in the US, the immigrant minorities, we are best performing in terms of education, in terms of work ethics and things like that. You get the point. These are positive narratives that we need to continue to push, because eventually we benefit from this good news. But if you look at the way bad news go, bad news spread wide, far and wider than good news, and bad news tend to affect everybody. Even if you can't even take the passport anywhere, Nigerian passport, you'll be treated differently at the airport. Why? Even though you have 2 PhDs or you are going there as a medical doctor, they wouldn't see you that way. It's because of these kind of things. You get the point. So when we have information like this that is showing that despite all these negative narratives around Nigeria, we are still one of the best. We get the point. So when you as the host continue to say we are underrepresented, anybody listening would think, oh, you don't even trust this data, or you think it should be worse than this. Whereas,
oh yes, but is it not fair for me to think it should be worse than this? Based, I'm
for
going
you as
based
a Nigerian,
on.
it is not
No. I'm not saying that. No. I think you're getting me wrong. I'm saying that given, as a matter of fact, I'm trying to do exactly what you are saying. That based on how Nigerians have been maligned, especially in scams and all those areas, clearly this data is showing the opposite.
And the thing is, that is why I'm saying that the thing is, there's a lot of noise around us, a lot of negative noise around us that the data don't even support. Even when you even talk about this scam of a thing, I believe if we go into the data analytics of it, you realize that India, China, and even the US, you have more scammers than Nigeria.
Oh yes, that's for sure.
You get the point. But because they just want to pay, just like the other information you were sharing, that the first beneficiary, the largest beneficiary of the DEI package is even the white people. Whereas if you look at the narrative, they'll make it look like it is the blacks that benefit from it the most.
It's unbelievable, really. Anything that just affects black way the positive way, they make it sound as if it's just
so and actually that was what made me come in, because when you were saying it like you were expecting it to be worse than this, okay, fine, maybe I get the angle you're coming from now, but when you say this, you should say like,
yeah,
you were expecting it, but this is the truth. But rather than making it sound like, are we sure that we are not hiding or we know how to hide? You're making it like we're hiding.
I guess I was just joking. Yeah, that one I was joking. I get where you're coming from now. Yeah.
So that is just like, oh no, this is the data of the US. Maybe if they now release another one, but for now, this is what we have. And compared to population size, we are far better good people. That's the point.
Are we good people? Are you sure?
Yes.
Are we like Kemi bad enough?
Good people.
Bad enough that Batman.
Many good people are leaving the country. That's the thing. The average Nigerian that goes out to go for education and is because they want good for themselves. And if you talk to them, they are reasonable people, they are competent people, they are people that they have understanding, they can dialogue and understand. Okay, they use logic. This is rationality. This is what Nigerians are known for. So when you have average people traveling abroad, they travel on those grounds. Not that you won't have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people with wrong information who we want to use Olori and SLS to go. Of course, you have a large number of people go because they are doing the right thing. You know, I saw a video of a Nigerian who doesn't have a paper, but as soon as this started happening, she reported. You know, she left the country. She left the US. She's now back in Nigeria. Yes, she says because she doesn't want to tarnish her image. Now you can see that.
Yeah, some people are doing that. I think, yeah, they're probably doing that just to avoid the nonsense treatment that they are giving to people. But you see, but the data you have to it's quite astounding though when you look at it, because the Somalis that make up relatively small population, Mauritania, I didn't even know that they had so many people in the US. Either they have so many people that are not bothering to get citizenship that getting them into this kind of trouble. I don't even understand it. But Nigeria, there's another element that I'm a little bit concerned about now. Maybe the reason why Nigerians don't show up on the data is it because of the kind of Kemi Badenoch phenomenon that I like to call it, where we tend to, when we go to other people's country, we are very worshipful. We are very, very, we give our best in that nation to the point whereby they'll be like, you know what, among all these useless people that are coming to this country, you are one of the good ones. Is that the kind of dynamics going on here? What do you think?
There's nowhere Nigerians go to that they don't give them their best. That is the thing.
Hey, is it not a bad thing when you are giving the people that are finishing us the best?
No. When you say giving the best, the thing is that what is in it for those who are giving their best? It's because, number one, they see that the system rewards them better compared to where they are coming from. What's happening?
Yeah, this is just making noise. Sorry, go ahead.
The system rewards them better for their efforts. If I am pushing pom-pom in Nigeria and I'm earning 30,000 naira per month, and I'm doing that same thing in the US and I'm earning 4,000 US dollar per month, that same sweat, that same not just the same, where the net energy spent is zero. Where do you think I will go to? And if I'm earning 4,000 and I'm calculating, I say, oh, with this, I can achieve 1 or 2, 3 things that I know that would have been impossible to achieve in Nigeria. Do you think I want to ruin that opportunity?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
That is the point. And that is largely, that is what we have as in that kind of people are what we constitute large percentage of us as Nigerians.
Okay, now let me ask you though, then what other, now let's go to the dodgy side. What other dodgy, is there any other dodgy element of this that means that Nigerians are better at doing it than other people? Could you suggest something that it could be?
Look, until proven otherwise, I am not bothered by any dodgy evidence. That's the thing. Let them go and find their dodgy evidence.
You know what I'm beginning to discover?
Yeah, I'm listening.
You know what I'm beginning to discover? Nigerians are a lot better than we like to believe in Nigeria. Nigerians, we are more of our brothers' keepers than we like to believe. We cooperate more than other groups. We share information than other groups. You would think that number should be swelling through the roof because, like, they are offering people $5,000 to rat out people that are, not illegal in the US. So you would think Nigerians would be selling each other out the way we like to talk. We talk as if we say, but look at Ghana. Ghana, that is supposed to be some of the most civil people that they like to pretend as if they are the most civil. Look at how swelling, how massive their number is compared to that of Nigeria. It's astounding. When I look at that number, it's really surprising to me. And when they come to West Africa, they talk as if they are they have such moral high ground. They look down on Nigeria, and Nigerians, we take it. We really do take a lot. And I just covered a story earlier on about this Rwanda and Congo's issue, and again, it reflects something that something that I know Nigerians will never take. Other nations have to take that nonsense. Look at the Cameroon. The leader has been in there for how many decades now? In office, Nigerians won't take that rubbish. And I think Nigerians they need to be giving themselves a little bit more credit than they like to think.
Nigeria. This is why sometimes I always remind all these other African country people. I reminded that it is not we are not complaining because Nigeria is just like nothing works there. We just want our government to do more. It's not that when you arrive on ground, there are no visible things that the government have done, but we want them to do more. For example, when you look at Ghana, even when the other past president did all the crazy stuff he did, the economy run it down, they default on their loan obligation. Their people were still like no protest, nothing. But guess what? That will not fly in Nigeria. People will complain and and pressure the government. So that's the difference. We are not just know to be docile and just keep quiet when things are going south. Don't you see, for example, look at what's going on in Congo. Man, I was I was disappointed at South Africa's military. They were taking cover and they have ammunition around them. They were they just allowed Kagame and his foot soldier to run them down. Soldiers without
now they are not war hardy, and they are not like Nigerian soldiers that have been dealing with insurgents for such a while now. So you see the consequences of that coming through when they face a military that is equipped and trained. But then what do you make of these dynamics going on between Rwanda and Congo? And even within Rwanda is a democracy, and it turns out that the Tutsis make up about 10% of the population. Why are they so dominant?
Thank you. I've heard that they were the one that removed this Congo president. What's the name? Mobutu.
Yeah.
They were Rwanda Tutsi-led uprising that removed Mobutu. I was like, damn, these people. It seems like the Congolese, all they do is just to dance and wear high fashion clothes. Like when it comes to a mano, let's fight. They run away. Like I don't know. Let me not insult anybody.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one because the dynamics going on in that region. If you compare that to what is going on in Nigeria, Nigerians are managing theirs a lot better. And somehow a tiny minority group literally stands on its own and does what they do. In the case of Nigeria, you can say, okay, the Fulanis are a little bit mixed up with Hausas and they are all gelling amongst themselves, so they are fine. But the Tutsis are standing on their own, causing so much chaos in that region. It's ridiculous. A tiny population, if you put Rwanda's population and put that of Congo together, the Tutsis still make up less than 2 to 3% of the population in that region.
Thank you.
Why are they causing so much trouble?
So, Nigeria, what saddens me is that these were not terrorists that you cannot find. These are people you can visibly see. They wear military uniform just like us. Come on now. How can you just run and allow them to overrun and take a part of your country? Man, let's be honest.
Some people even argue that they lost, the South Africans lost up to 50 soldiers. And,
I believe so.
That would be a disaster. And now you begin to see why I keep saying Nigeria should really get its military act together. Because if we're as strong as we should be, this problem wouldn't be happening. Because if you look at South Africa, they send 1,000 soldiers. East Africa, they will send 1,000. Maybe UN send 1,000. That is nothing.
Just imagine, let's be honest. If it was Nigeria that was in charge of that place, this would have happened. It wouldn't have now. It would have happened at all. Those long neck, what they call it, Rwanda would have tried this rubbish.
Let's be careful not to go into tribal.
Okay,
Oh God! I'm not a big fan of what Kagame is doing. He's dragging the Tutsis out. He's making it look like it's a tribal thing, when it's just about justice and equity here. Because you are a small group. Stop pretending as if you are a dominant group in that region. You're small in population. Respect the other people and put yourself where you stand. Because
Nigeria, what do you mean stop pretending?
Stop pretending as if you are like the majority group. No,
wait. To Nigeria, they have the right to express themselves the way they want to. Let the majority now show them. Look, A cat, there's no way a cat is as strong that it will face a lion and claim that. It may try to appear and the lion will just ignore. But the moment the lion shows force, the cat will understand. Now, what am I trying to say is that if the majority can take up their own share and show their force that they are the majority, then they will be led by the minority. It's that simple. So
okay.
That's
not fair. I think you are basically blaming the victims.
You see, the victims have made themselves the victims eventually.
Okay,
because
fair
now
point.
You are looking at it from this from the observer's perspective, and you see that you guys have every reason to not go through this. So why are you doing that? So and how do you explain it to them if they can't deliver themselves?
Yeah, I see. I get some of your point when you are putting it that way, but you can do that and still call out the people creating this anomaly.
Calling out won't solve the problem.
Yep.
Pardon?
Calling out won't solve that problem. They have to face their problem and fight it and face it head on and overcome it squarely.
No, but calling it out helps, because if you don't call it out, they may not know. Like if let's say someone like Rwanda now doesn't know what they are doing, that they are actually upending a whole massive population. Like if you don't know, you are upsetting. Let's say your population is 1 million and you are causing trouble for 100 million people. You have to keep that in perspective. Somebody has to remind you that what you are doing, you are causing bigger problems that may even come back to blow back on you. So that's why it's good to call them out, and more people should be calling Rwanda out for what it is doing. Because when I checked the data, I was shocked. Even the Kivu area, North Kivu and South Kivu, where they're talking about, they own that area, there are minorities there too. It's like, how are these people just causing so much problems?
Well, let the fittest survive.
I think tonight I will agree with this guy, this fellow here, what he said exactly. Until the lion starts to bark and all that, yeah, there's calling something out. But how long have they been calling this thing out? You see what I'm saying? So, there's sometimes a time you must react. And some of the Congolese citizens are fed up and they're ready to fight. But the president, and they're out there protesting, say, give us arms, we will fight them. Give us arms, we will fight them. They are protesting, But then, the president, like you say, Tunaya, you always say, these people are put in place to either stand us down or to destabilize us. These leaders, they put us to stand us down or to destroy. The Congolese citizens are running through the streets protesting that they want to fight.
It's now they want to pump their chest. They already lost, man. That embarrassment is already in their name. Let's be honest.
What is wrong with you, man? No, I hear what he's saying, because this is exactly what Ethiopian president did when the Tigray people started fighting. That's when he said, "Oh yeah, citizens, people come, let's form this rapport militia. Let's go and fight these people." Why do they do that? You have a standing army.
It is not too late to fight back. You get the point. It doesn't matter how long that they've been beaten down. The moment they realize it and they face their challenge, at least it is for their posterity. So it is not too late to fight back.
It's not like fucking Rwanda is a nuclear state anyway, man. You can just overrun them.
You get the point. That is why, for me as a person, I don't even see this.
That is the saddest thing.
People say that Rwanda is being armed by the West.
Rwanda only have I think Rwanda only have 1 or 2 jets. You understand me?
Yes. Now Nigeria will crush these people. If only Nigeria wasn't stretched out too.
It's crazy. I was expecting Congolese army to decimate these people in 1 hour. Like, man, when I saw
it's like Gambia fighting Nigeria,
Yeah.
Except Nigeria is too far from Gambia, so
thank you. Just like Gambia overrunning.
Shut up, you. I give you that. So that's not that far.
Thank you very much, Jack. That's how it feels.
I gave you that curveball. Calm down. But tonight, this is it's not correct. You know what I mean? It's not right. And tonight there's something I told you. I wanted to be back. We were talking. I said, tonight, but Kagame has some controversy around him and all that. I just said, but that, man, how can we expect all our heroes, our good leaders to be prophets and saviors and perfect? You cannot expect them to be perfect. But he has shown great signs of leadership in his own Rwanda. Correct, Tunaja?
Yeah.
It's true.
See, when I watch the Congolese, sometimes the videos I see of them, they just look so like, Nigerians are bad. Things are bad for Nigeria, but they look like they are 2 layers below Nigerians. It's like really bad. It's just not right, man. This is what I've suffered, and I can't have it, man. Rwanda needs to stop it. This is why I really feel strongly
Let
against
me tell you what's
right
going
now.
on. They have been defeated mentally. It's just because I cannot imagine a country with 100 million people. You allow the wonder of 11 million and some miscreant in the Goma area to overrun your this thing. Come on now.
No, they exemplify the greatest docility in
It's
Africa.
not even 11. It's not even 11 million that we fight. Maybe 30,000 soldiers.
Thank you. They have 30,000 military. You see, that's the right number.
It's not even in the millions that they will fight. It is in the thousand versus thousand or thereabout. So, look, the thing is this: when DRC wakes up, they will get their land back, and if they do not wake up, we're fine. Look, a lot of groups have gone extinct in this world. It's part of life.
Hey, so boss, don't talk like that. Don't talk like that.
No, wait, hold on. See, wait. Look, I'm just being rational here because I feel like this is their fight. They should wake up to it, and I'm saying this thing to spike them up so that they can wake up if they are listening. But the thing is that if they don't, they shouldn't expect a miracle from outside.
No,
that's the point. They have to wake up to their fight and fight it. They have to be ready to die for their land and then face it. And the thing is this: the moment the opponent understands that you are ready to die for your land, that breaks the bond, that breaks the bondage. It breaks the chain off you. Because they will now realize that there's nothing to threaten these people with again.
Exactly. They don't have nukes. They don't have fighter jets. You can just overrun them in their country by sheer mass power and all that kind of stuff. The citizens are ready to fight. The government is standing them down. That's what I realized.
Now the citizens should try and fit and now put in their own government eventually. I think that's where it starts from.
You see, there's so many interest groups in Congo, and something you said there. Something you said there is interesting because I tried to tell Tunaja many times. Many groups in the world have come and disappeared. Many people have come and disappeared, and sometimes some people have some hardened hearts to kind of disappear a certain type of people. And Tunaja, I was telling you that Europeans are now, at least the racist sect, are discussing a total white totalitarianism in the planet as in being the de facto human race in the planet. They are discussing that, like Trump slot. You understand what I'm saying? So I told you this was, but I went there and I told them it's too late for that because you guys fucked up. You understand? You missed the opportunity. But they are discussing these things, and my guy is just highlighting that yes, sometimes some people, some races have disappeared all across the planet. The tribes, all that stuff, they disappeared, amalgamated, and all that stuff. And somehow these Kushites sometimes they realize this. They have this great sense of awareness. You see, Tunaja. Hold on. They have this great sense of this awareness that you should disappear your other people. But somehow, us, Niger, Congo, Bantu, we're too slow to react. We're too slow when it comes to violence. Not me, for instance. Me, when I'm around Eastern Europeans, Somalis, I am clicked on. When I'm around Eastern Europeans and Somalis, I am clicked on. I say, I'm ready to kill you right now. Right now, I will kill you myself right now. If you make any wrong step. You understand? I once met a Gambian that was being very friendly and nice to Eastern Europe. He didn't do nothing to them. Friendly and nice to them. They killed him because there were many and he was one. And they killed him. You see, they provoked the situation. While the Gambian was just saying hello to them. You understand what I mean? I think this was somewhere in Italy. A Somalian guy, hold on, UFC. Somalian guy had an argument with a Gambian. It didn't take long. He stabbed him. But us Bantus were too slow to actually killing. We're too slow to the killing. Why are we slow to the killing?
I think that's part of our makeup because we've been conditioned not to. We've not had any major conflict apart from tribal ones where we really
just look at them through the jungles. You see them through the jungles. They sing. They will do
Let's be honest. After what Congo witnessed during King Leopold, they should have be preparing themselves that no, we trained our people, prepare them for what they witness for through Bengium. I don't think they should allow themselves, be treated like this.
I think it's because part of it is how they handed over power. They didn't give them power. They maintain control over these people. And
I wish I could see a Rwanda genocide 2.0. I wish I could see that one again, and they'll be crying. Congo will just defend on them.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I think what we want to do is
you will see the Kusites. But Niger, you have to understand. You have to understand. Hold on.
You have to understand. There should be genocide again. Come on, man.
To Niger.
You see, that's the African.
You are saying the genocide needs to happen for that to happen. You don't need a genocide.
Don't say the word again. They will block your channel. Just let's.
Please,
exactly.
To paint the picture properly, we are not supporting any form of
it. We are not supporting genocide at all.
I wonder how far you can go to that. Sometimes you come far, but I wonder how far you can go. But the thing is, I can push you to the other end.
You can't be saying stuff like that now.
These are our people.
Common sense. You can't say, "Oh, people should just die like that for the sake of it." We are not. If you are fighting in major battle like against the West, you can take that kind of risk. That okay, yes, a lot of us will lose, but it's for our survival because all of us will lose if we don't fight this fight. Yeah, but the kind of fight we're talking about is not.
But tonight, would you still prefer if the Bantus and the Hutus and the Bantus dominated, and the Bantus dominated Rwanda? Wouldn't you prefer that situation, or you want to allow more Kushites to push into the continent? Oh my gosh!
I don't care about Kushite. I just care about the majority having their say. And if the Bantus are the majority, they should have their say. That it's supposed to be a democratic continent right now. And if the democracy is what we are operating, then why is 85% not being? At least it's not showing up.
You know, they say Rwanda is a peaceful, we're all good, we forgot about that, we're all just one Rwandans. But the Hutus are living in that situation. They cannot talk. They cannot talk. They know their condition, but they cannot talk because what the regime that Kagame has. You understand?
Let's other that. Why will the president even send mercenary? I saw the mercenary they arrested from mercenary.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't learn now.
My friend called me and said, these are mercenaries. My friend called me and said, these are mercenaries.
They don't learn.
They come and tell, these are mercenaries. They came there to kill you. They came there to kill you, to fight you. But some reason you captured them, you defeated them, and you let them go. You should have just killed them.
Mm-hmm.
You should have just killed them.
Mercenaries are not M23 mercenaries. They are mercenaries from the Congolese government, from what I gather.
Exactly. So M23 and Congolese government were fighting these mercenaries. So they let them go free. So
because if they kill the white mercenary, they are afraid that because these white people that are supporting Kagame, now they will retaliate now. Mercenaries are friends too. Mercenary lives matter. How can you just go and kill them in Congo? They will come back and
this highlights something. This highlights something I talked about I discovered in the conversation with Kezo and Ike the other day. That our dialectic between the reason why black people are gung ho when a Chinese man does something in Africa, black people are up and ready to humiliate the Chinese man. They're up ready to humiliate the Indian man, but they never touch the white man. Why?
I don't think it is necessarily true. The white people don't necessarily do stuff. These guys were working with this in Rwanda. They caught them and they thought, okay, if we kill them, they will have blowback. So let's send them to Kagame. Let Kagame do the paperwork. Basically.
But they were killed. But they were your opposition. They were your opposition in the heat of battle. These people killed your friends. They killed your friends. They killed your colleagues. They killed your compatriots. And you let them go.
Because if you kill them, your compatriots and yourself may probably die too. More of them. You see how Africans have common sense when it comes to foreigners. When it comes to their own people, they don't have common sense.
Well, you also need to know that sometimes that you retaliate doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to. If you want to win the real war, sometimes you have to show a superior form of a strategy. That's the point.
Okay. If you say so. But what if the mercenaries had won? What if the mercenaries had won on Congo side, had completely decimated the M23.
Yeah,
What
but
if
the
they
thing
had
is,
not?
did it happen? Did it happen? The answer is no, it didn't. So if it didn't happen, yeah, so you just
Of
have
course,
to,
the two
those
dangerous.
guys,
Yep.
do you think, wait, let me tell you, the people who caught them, do you think they couldn't have done what you were expecting them to do?
They could have.
But for them to have chosen not to, let us trust their judgment on that.
Just hold on. Let me just play this video because if you look at this video, you look at how dirty this street is, and the people look so dirty and uncared for. What is wrong with you? I'm trying to describe what I see.
The way you describe things, the way you say things sometimes, it just makes me laugh.
It's not. They are not. It's not nice. Our leaders are horrible people. Because many of these people are jobless. They could sweep that street, but they can't even be asked to have them tidy up their environment. Let me just play the protests. I think they are trying
Nous sommes derrière le président Félix Tshisekedi. Nous sommes derrière le président Tshisekedi.
Nous sommes prêts à combattre pour dégager l'ennemi pour notre souveraineté de notre pays. Il faut combattre. Celui qui veut la paix, il faut combattre. Prendre des armes et combattre, mon frère Félix.
Tunaja,
yeah.
What you saw that happened to Congolese, yes, I know Buhari failed on economy. If not for Buhari that harmed Nigeria military, such thing, Niger would have done that to Nigeria, really.
Yeah, there you go.
Buhari says that, he said that now that that they wanted to destroy Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's a serious statement that our politicians believe that the West or whoever, I think it's the West they are referring to, made a plan to break Nigeria up, but they failed.
Yeah, that guy saved
Nigeria
by quitting the military. If not, this kind
of even Governor Ayade said something similar to that. If not some of the action Buhari took, Nigeria would have broken up. That's what Governor Ayade said too. So there was a danger somewhere just before the year 2000 and after. There was a danger around that period, serious danger. From what they said, the document it seems to imply that by 2014 or so, the country should break up. That was their plan. So, but somewhere along the line, they failed in their plan.
It's funny. It's funny. Around the same time, the terrorism and the deaths and the Nigerians and the killings just pick up so much. The killings before that it was the kidnappings. After the kidnappings, then it was the terrorism. Every time I'm here in market, thousands of people die in Nigeria. What's going on here? What is going on here? Thousands of people. There was the kidnapping, then there's the terrorism and death. Now, Tunaja, I would say it's the previous government of Niger or the previous leader of Niger who were agreeing to the West, who gave a military base to the United States. Those are the ones who were actually looking to destabilize Nigeria and break it down into pieces. And that's what they want to do with Congo. You see what I mean? So I don't say it's the current Niger. They've kicked out the American military base. They've kicked them out. They got them out of.
I blame Nigeria for letting that happen, for letting France and US set up a military base behind their back. That was just our leaders are too stupid. They allow
the CFA was always there to contain Nigeria.
Man,
the CFA was there to contain Nigeria.
No. Nigeria leaders.
No. Tonight, what I want to say about this, because I'm gonna go get a haircut. Because I just jumped in to say hello and all that kind of stuff. And I wish you could do more shows and all that stuff. I'll be more composed next time. I'm just in a different.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm in a different favor. I wish you could do more. I'm going to get a haircut. This thing, all right. I know you don't like me saying this, all right. You don't like me saying this. But obviously, the Congolese at this moment are showing the most, the greatest example of docility amongst that Africans have. You see what I'm saying? So they are very slow to reacting, but when they react, when the lion reacts, you might see a genocide on the way, and I hope I do see that.
No.
What is wrong with you now? What is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with
we have to harden our hearts, Raja. The world is changing. We have to harden our hearts.
What do you mean you want to harden your heart and call for genocide? What is that? That is doesn't solve the problem. You can
when white Europeans are talking about being Europeans are talking about being the default human race on the planet.
I don't want that, because if you just call for genocide, you are just fighting a war to weaken our own side, really.
I have seen this many times. Like where you have Afro-Asiatic, Cushitic people, as African as they may be, they somehow get this sense that they have to rule over the Bantu, Niger, Congo lot. You understand? If you go away from the Fulanis, Mauritanians, Arab Mauritanians to the Senegalese, and then you go to East Africa with the Bantu and Cushitic situation and the Afro and all that stuff. In Congo, the Europeans, Belgium too, for this one were just black white people. The Tutsi were just black white people. They gave them power to rule over these people. So these Cushitic people always feel this need, they feel this need. Yes, Mobutu never gave them citizenship, but they never can. How can you be such a tiny population, but yet you want to have so much authority and all that kind of stuff? You see what I'm saying? Where have you seen that in the world?
I think the last genocide that occurred is the reason why the population of Rwanda now is about 10%. The Tutsis population in Rwanda is now 10%. Before, they were about 15%. The genocide did a lot of damage. The issue is that it's not the fact that they were empowered. It's the fact that the other side, that is a majority, haven't found a way to galvanize even the part that is part of the oppressing group.
You see, that's why I like you. Sometimes you control my extremist side of things. That's why I like you.
These are things we just repeat history. Now they already did genocide. You forgot.
They should be more clever and find another way to kind of maintain power without genociding. That's why you control my extremism, Stranger. That's why I like you.
It's just logical now.
I think, and I thank God I'm not a Bantu. It seems the Bantus are just, I don't want to use the P word. They are, man, shit, man.
Look at this one. You don't know you're Bantu.
No, I'm not Bantu.
When they say Bantu, they are referring to the Niger Congo group.
You're Bantu too.
You don't seem to understand what they are saying. I'm not a Bantu. Typical Nigerians.
No, start from Cameroon. Cameroon sound Bantu.
It's not my problem. You didn't know that the Bantu expansion started from Nigeria. When I was telling this Congolese, this Cameroonian guy, that Nigerians were the one that chased them all the way to South Africa, he thought I was joking. But it turns out that the Mambila Plateau is in Nigeria there, and it started from Nigeria all the way to South Africa. So it shouldn't be surprising to anyone anyway. This is one of the areas I always say that Nigeria is one that most people think.
I need to be honest. Paul Kagame's military, they are very fit and well trained. I'm not going to lie. They may not have aircraft and all those things, but when it comes to foot soldier, they are well trained. And if you look at their weapons, are brand new Israeli weapon and very solid rifles. You understand me? Even their
this is the problem. Now they are saying that they are empowered by the West to take destabilization activities in DRC, so that the mineral resources can be extracted at almost free. So, and Kagame is doing their bidding. And
yeah, I remember I agree with you.
I remember about 5 years ago, I think what's her name, Bijuno, I used to play a video. She plays it all the time.
You are saying this thing like this is what is tenable out there. Please, these things. Are you sure what you're saying?
No. That's what I want to come to. She used to play this video all the time. I always wonder what that video, the relevance was, because during that time we all saw Kagame as a nice person and all that stuff. But the video, what they were saying was that America says they work with their partners. And when they were saying their partners, it was Rwandan troops they were showing in that video. They say they work with their partners to control events on the continent. That's what they do. And they were showing Rwanda troops, and now it's becoming clear what that meant. Because during that time, you remember 6 years ago, people were seeing Kagame as a hero. He speaks up for Africa and all the rest. But people have always been saying behind the scenes that this guy is destabilizing Congo. We just didn't see it. He is like Israel of Africa now, whereby he feels so arrogant that he can keep doing all this stuff because he's well armed. question I will ask is, that is military. Are there Bantus in that military? How many of them are in that military? Are they large enough in population in that military? I would really like to ask that question, because that too will matter, and not just the ones that are in the military, because they could be in the military, but they all remain in Rwanda. The ones that he sends into Congo, do they make up a lot of Bantus among them? Because if there are a lot of Bantus among them, they will be wondering, this thing that you are doing, I'm not so sure. Where you are saying not to go and kill other people, when we know the same thing you are doing to them, you just did to us in our own country. You see what I mean? So all these dynamics, we need to watch out for them. Finally, the Congo, one of the things that weakens the Congo a lot, from what I gather, is that every ethnic groups, they want to arm themselves to protect themselves. It's like there is nobody out there that seems to want to bring everybody together, that everybody trusts and say, you know what, we are going to work with you, and no matter all our hang-ups about tribalism, we are going to put our nation first, come together and do these things that we need to do. That is a problem in this Congo. I did ask a Congolese I was on Search for Uhuru. I had a long conversation with the Congolese. He did say that there are Congolese that are Congo people trust, but they don't let them become leaders. That's the problem. That they are there, but they won't let them become leaders, because if you don't go through Belgium, you don't go through France and the US, forget it, you're not going to be a leader. So there you go.
Even the current president, I heard that he lived most of his life in France before he came and become president in Congo. So you see, they elect people who doesn't even live in the country, who have not spent time and know about the inner stuff about the country. It doesn't make sense.
Don't say they elect. Are you also sure that they elected those people, or they were simply forced on them?
I agree.
So it's happening in wider spaces on the African continent. But the thing is that eventually, time will tell if they're going to win.
I really feel bad for them. Even the sky looks like it's crying. It's like, look at them.
Yeah, I feel bad, because you know why I feel bad?
Their color is almost gray. It's like life has been sucked out of these people.
It's like an ant killing an elephant. That's how I feel, because Congo is too, based on their population and the manpower they have. I thought they should have done better than what I saw. I was embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie.
They are not organized now. When a leader starts relying on mercenaries to save him, you are out of luck. You are not going to progress. It's a bad idea. They should have been recruiting right from the beginning. They had a period of peace. In short, why should M23 even exist? It's just that some of our people are so stupid and so foolish. I don't even understand how deep we are at this. Like, the foreigners will come and give you a weapon and you will use it to attack your people. Because you just feel a little bit aggrieved.
Anyway, the thing is this. Don't let us waste much time discussing this issue. Eventually, because that is where I'm thinking, eventually, it's either that they wake up or they sleep forever. That's the thing. So you see all these things that we are just talking about, fine, maybe we take a lot of them, fine. We are using it to just pass away the time and things like that. But the truth is that if they don't wake up and fight their battle, the battle will consume them. Hopefully they do that. Hopefully they will.
Or Kagame and his supporter will overrun and take over the country. Don't you think
that's what I'm saying, that the battle will consume them. So it is now left to them. But I hope that eventually a generation of critical thinkers, strategic thinkers will wake up amongst them. But sometimes these things just don't happen. You have to, they normally say experience, necessity is the mother of invention. You get the point? Until their situation necessitates that, yes, we have to wake up, they won't wake up. So all this discussion we are having, well, maybe it can just add a little here and a little there in their mindset. For me as a person, I'm not even bothered. Because right now, I think Nigeria has a problem on its own that we just need to really fight out. Hopefully that the Yorubas can stand on their own. The Niger Delta can stand on their own. The Midwest can stand on their own. I know Nigeria doesn't like that. But hopefully that can also, because that is what I'm thinking right now. How we can just.
But
why would you even you see, I mean, look,
this is the issue I have with Nigeria.
You
Nigeria
should be the least person to be talking about division because the Southwest is getting the best out of Nigeria, like literally the best out of Nigeria.
No, let me say something to sir, please. This is the issue I have with some of you guys who are well educated, because sometimes, sorry, I'm not insulting you. You guys don't think beyond your. You guys don't think beyond your nose. People don't understand the current leverage Nigeria enjoy in Africa is because of the current structure. If you, for example, if you cut Nigeria into four, Nigeria become minority in Africa. Our power is gone. You don't. Some of you don't see
Congo
that.
and Ethiopia, people will be looking forward to now. If you break Nigeria up,
You guys don't see that. It's just inner issue. You don't see the bigger picture.
it's true, you know. If Nigeria breaks up, Nigeria, West Africa will be nobody now. It's now the hope of Africa now. People will be looking at
It's gone.
Congo and Ethiopia because they make up the largest population nations on the continent now.
And what is bad in that?
What is bad in that is because
it's not the same Congo that the 10 million. It's not the same Congo that 10 million Rwandans
are you seeing them? That's what I'm saying now. That's what I'm saying. Look, are you seeing them? These are the hope we have for Africa. And look at Ethiopia.
The hope is not in the numbers.
They are doing food round for Ethiopia.
The hope shouldn't be on numbers. The hope should be on your brain, on the sense. We saw the story of it.
Let me tell you why it is good. For example,
numbers win out. All the regions in the world, the nations that have the greatest numbers are the superpowers of that group of people. Like in America, it's the US. In Europe, the Germans and Asia, the same thing.
Remove brain and strategy from them, and you see them that they are just slaves. That's the thing. Those nations that you are talking about is because they are using their brains. Let us remove the numbers.
Look at what AB said. Can you imagine Yoruba nation? Ghana will start oppressing them.
I'm telling you.
You guys, you underrate Yoruba nation.
You know what? Cote d'Ivoire will come into a superpower in West Africa.
Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire, yeah. Even Cameroon will start oppressing us.
Oh, look at that. Yoruba nation. Where are you
going? We need to solve our problem. Come on now. We need to solve our problem and be serious. God actually gave us responsibility to save Africa, but because of our
forget those things. I don't look. Why are you guys just trying to sound so responsible? Why?
Yes,
I can't believe you just said that. Why you guys looking to sound so responsible? Isn't that what you're supposed to be? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, this is my point. You know, in a nuclear family, you know, when the firstborn always wants to act like he or she is the mother and the father of the house when the parents are not there.
Oh my God.
You know that kind of a thing. But to what end does it affect that person? Eventually, if he's not careful, all the siblings will just come and take over and live their lives. That is the point.
The kind of stuff you are saying there is just, come on, man. You can't be serious, man. How can you say you should not sound responsible?
No, wait. The point is this. He is sounding like God gave us a responsibility to...
Yeah, because it's a responsibility. Because, for example, because when it comes to Black Africa, we have the number. Until we get our shit right, we will not earn respect that we deserve across the globe.
You don't get your shit right by loving others more than yourself. That is what I'm saying.
What is loving? Who's loving
yourself too now?
That what I'm trying to say is that if you don't first take care of yourself and be responsible to yourself, don't take other people's responsibility as a reason to become responsible. No, that is just like you're trying to want to how can I even give that narrative properly now? But what I'm trying to say is that first flee for your life, develop yourself. Now, when you are whole, that is when you can now give yourself to other people. That is the point. And
Are we currently giving ourselves to other people? The answer is no, we are not.
And that is what I'm trying to say, because you are coming from the aspect that don't you know that we should be giving ourselves to other people. That is because that is why we should be old.
No. I said we should, hold on. I said we should develop our country. Hold on. People don't understand that fixing Nigeria and develop Nigeria will actually help the global black people.
I like that. And I believe that completely. I believe that, but what I'm trying to say is that you want to deliver other people shouldn't be the reason.
No. I'm just saying no. I'm focusing on us. You understand me? I'm just looking at the
maybe
bigger
you are now seeing me from where I'm coming from. That first, I would rather focus on me and make sure.
Yes, I want us to focus on Nigeria. That's not an argument.
But when you now start to say God gave us the responsibility to go and take care of Congo, that's where I'm like, hey, don't act like.
No, I'm not saying Congo. No.
See, I think. Sorry, let me just add to this. I think for Pan-Africanism to succeed, nationalism has to succeed first.
Thank you to Nigeria.
100%. That is
I agree on that. Yes.
So because you have to be strong before you can be able to help.
Yeah, to help others. I agree on that. Nationalism need to be, be first. We need to develop our country first.
And I don't know. The Nigerian government is making some moves that seems to be pointing in the right direction with the idea that they are manufacturing their own weapons now. They don't want to be waiting for orders to be arriving. So that is a good step forward. I'm watching this space, but the fact that our president and is moving so closely with the West is concerning for me. That
See, a lot of people talk about this thing about Tinubu France. I did this thing. For example, Nigeria has a trade surplus with France, almost about 400% trade surplus. For example, they buy, we export to France almost about close to $5 billion worth of goods, and we import almost about $800 million worth of product. So Nigeria actually benefit France relationship more than France. So I see no reason why we should, because they have issue with what they call in Niger that doesn't benefit Nigeria, or they create is terrorism and Boko Haram.
Hold on. You just did those fancy mathematics that our forefathers did and got us into this mess.
No, I'm just saying, based on the economic 2023.
That's my point. Don't look at that. That is not what you should be watching out. The economics is fine. Do all economics you want to do. But how about the strategic aspect? How about the control over your leaders when things truly matter? How about how they can tweak them and they get them to destabilize your own nation? That is the one you should be worrying about, not whether we did trade very, very well.
Okay. Let's agree.
History has suggested that.
Since we have been battling terrorism in the northern Nigeria, has Niger ever passed Nigeria with intel on where these people are located in their borders and say, okay, Nigeria Army, take this information, these people are located here?
Yeah, they have. They work with Nigeria. Even Chad has worked with Nigeria. They all work with Nigeria.
Yes, Chad, I agree on Chad. Yes, 100%. But Niger, no.
No, Niger has. It's just that as a matter of fact, right now, if you see any kind of improvement in security in Nigeria, it's more due to them in that Sahel region. They are blocking most of it. This is why if you look at them, they are moving into Nigeria. If anything, if they kick them out of the Sahel, they will move into Nigeria. And if the Nigerians can wipe them out, you'll find that that region will be more stable. And it's up to Nigeria to do this instead of supporting the French.
I pray that stability return back to the north.
I fear it's not going to happen because our leaders still, this year, they're talking about recruiting 5,000. It's like, what is wrong with this?
That number is too small. At least 20,000 or 30,000 a year.
100,000, 200, 300,000. That's what we need. we need to bump it up to around 1 million at least in the next 2 years.
They cannot afford it.
You mean the military number?
Oh my God! Why do people keep saying we cannot afford it? We can afford it. We have the money to do it. When I did the numbers, I'll be shocked how easy. The military numbers, and in short, the entire security numbers, not just the military.
Of course, we should have close to 1 million if we are really serious. And sincerely speaking,
it's very important.
It is not even that expensive.
It's not. It's not. I did the numbers.
When we block corruption up to like 60 to 70%, do you know that we will cater for all of these things without sweat?
That's true.
Let's say we don't even block corruption. The money employing the military and the security forces will do, it will save us more money. We are losing in excess of about $50 billion every year due to insecurity. Can you imagine that? How can you be losing $50 billion and the investment to stop it is not going to benefit you? It is as a matter of fact, I've told you before, it's the best economic investment Nigeria can do right now. Because it benefits Nigeria. Nigeria is going to stop losing that kind of money.
But now the question is this. That is where we are having problem in Nigeria. There is lack of trust. There's lack of trust.
Where is the trust? What trust are we talking about?
Now wait. How many now? Because if you want military, for example, in Nigeria, you must talk about this federal character principle, where at least everybody is represented.
Yes.
But the question is that true? Is that tenable in the Nigerian system?
You see, hold on. It's already there now. So what is the difference?
What do you mean already there? You mean in the military where we have people who have come out to say that the military is even being Islamized or Fulanized?
No. People will say that now. Come on, know that there are a lot of
people. No. That is where I'm afraid of even you as a person, because if you don't even give a little credence to this noise like that, it shows that you are not even ready.
No. My point is that I'm not saying it's not happening, but it's not enough to upend the structure of the military. It's not, because you have to understand there are other people there too. Like if you can you imagine if you were part of the military and 5 of you were part of the military, then the other side just went and brought 20 of their side, you will complain, you'll be out there like
and it doesn't happen like that in the military. People keep quiet because of God says this.
No, you don't get the point like that. See, you have to understand. See, I don't know why people make. You see, sometimes we forget that we don't understand Nigeria. How can we pretend as if we don't understand Nigeria? You know how sometimes people on the in some region they will say, "Oh, the center they cheat us, they do," but yet your people are in the center. You forget. The other side will say, "Oh, the military is dominated by this group," but you forget your people are also there. Look at this defense minister is from your region actually. It's like, why do we do this?
Wait. You are not even looking at it properly. Are you looking at it from the region of, from the side of religion?
See, you can look at it from any side. See, you have to understand, all nations, let me make this clear to you, just in case it's confusing for you. All nations have peculiarities that favor a certain group. What do you want to do about that? You want to kill everybody because of it doesn't favor you on that one? How about the other side?
I'm not saying it does. Look, nobody is expecting that you share the meat fairly all the time. Of course, we know that is not a probable solution to everything. But the thing is that let there be a sense of fairness. And that is what
I think that in Nigeria we have enough.
Yeah, we have.
Compared to others, we tend to have enough.
Compared to which others are you talking about?
Almost every other nation, when you check them,
this is a matter of nation. You are bringing nation into when people are fighting for their lives within this country. You are talking about other nations.
No, they are human beings too. All those who have ethnic groups too. They are not stupid. So if you look at other nations that have ethnic groups and they are able to make it work, even when it's against, like it's so tilted. Can you imagine? We just finished talking about Rwanda, where 10% of the population, one guy has been running the country for 25 years. And they are not imploding. As a matter of fact, the country seems to be stronger than ever. So you have to, that's why I say peculiarities exist in all nations at all times. In the UK, I've said it before to you, only in southern UK politicians tend to rule the country. Most of the resources are spent in the south, but the UK went on to be the greatest nation in the earth once. It conquered Africa, including us. Conquered it, took over everywhere, and was running the whole world. So it tells you that those things that we fight about is of less significance, instead of us focusing on delivering for the people. And to be fair, I get your point, the fear you have in terms of, okay, let's say the other side recruits a lot of people, and then you are worried that, okay, they are going to use it to dominate the other group. There's a valid fear there. But the context I'm describing this type of stuff happening is in a nationalist context, where the implementation is going to be done based on defending the nation's interests.
How do you have nationalism mindset when that is there?
Because the people that are controlling it,
before you talk
it
about
will be that way.
nationalism, if you're going to build a block, a house of nationalism, it starts from laying the bricks of equity, respect, cordial courtesy for one another.
No, it never did.
That is where it starts from to Nigeria.
See, I think that what you are describing is for the birds. It never existed. That will never exist. If you are wishing for that position, then you are not looking at nations for what they truly are. Nations are not they are not formed from neat arrangements. They are often messy. The truth is they are messy.
Wait, it doesn't. Then the thing is this: it doesn't necessarily have to be that we must follow what other nations have done or made their errors as well. Are you telling me that we can't do it the right way?
The problem is that your right way is not going to be the right way for other person. There's never a right.
Equity is not the right way.
No, equity is the right way, and we already have it in law now. That to the point whereby a president is appointing minister, they have to appoint minister from every corner of the country. I support a presidential council system whereby every region is represented in the presidency all the time. That is something that I wish Nigerians would take up. I don't think I've actually proposed it in the sense that we should campaign for something like that as a change. So, but in terms of Nigeria, we've written it like deep into the system in terms of try to make it equitable in everything that we do. As a matter of fact, you can even argue that maybe that is why Nigeria still exists today. Because I'm not sure it's like that in Congo. I'm not sure is that represented in many other countries. Because it's definitely not like that in Rwanda.
Yep.
You know?
One person control everything.
Yeah, Nigeria is quite. I don't know. Nigerians don't see it. Nigeria's laws are so like every time they pass a law.
I keep telling people. I said, look at the elite structure in Nigeria. For example, look at my state. There are a lot of people who are the elite in my state. They benefit from Nigeria massively. They have a stake. You understand me? So Nigeria elite. You may think they are fool. No, they are very smart. They are able to stabilize the country because everyone, no matter if you are a minority tribe, everyone is well taken care of. Everyone have a stake, you understand me, in different aspects of the economy. That actually is the reason why Nigeria is stick together. It may not be enough, but at least there is something. You don't have country like, for example, like Cameroon, whereby one family or one person just control everything. Every other person is a slave.
Are you seeing what AB left here? He said, Tunaya, not only political power itself, most of the UK resources and policies benefit mainly the Southeast. And that is true. It's just a fact of life. And people don't understand that nations are like human body. Not all parts are the same. They always have one part. And for me, you have to look at the bigger picture. Are you going to be better off if this nation does well? If it is true, do what it needs to be done. Make the necessary sacrifices. The truth is, we do this all the time when we go to work. Most of us, I wouldn't say most of us. A lot of people go to work that they don't like. They go to work. The reason why they do that because they know for the greater good is better for their family. They are going to have food to eat. They are going to be paid to pay their bills and all the rest. That is how nations are too. And sometimes we as Nigerians, we talk as if we expect perfection. You will never get it. Other countries have less. The UK is one horrible country. By Nigerian standard, the UK is horrible.
Tonight, I was talking to somebody. I said, if what happened in America in the last 1 week happened in Nigeria, Nigeria will say, oh, Nigerians are fake. Nigeria is a fake state. Nigeria is in a war. Nigeria will be screaming online. Just imagine there's a 2-plane crash in Nigeria almost in a week. Do you think Nigeria will, you will be afraid? You think we are in a war?
Yeah.
So look at America, they just go about their day. Say, okay, it's a normal incident.
And hold on. The plane crash happened just after Los Angeles, half of Los Angeles is almost burned to ashes.
Thank you.
Nigerians will be like, hey, God has judged.
Nigeria is finished.
Wait. You guys are missing a point here. Look, there is a mindset for an average American, even an average person, that it is being eroded gradually now. There is a nice standard we put America that we believe that if there's an error, it is likely due to maybe a systemic error. That you can even say, oh, if this happened, it's not because somebody made a mistake like that, because you believe the system has a level of control and you trust that system. So it will not be easy to just call any event that happened and you place it on like the average Nigerian does. Because if that event happens, there's every tendency is because of the ineptitude of one or two persons, because of the trend so far. Now, that's why I said it is gradually being eroded, because now we are realizing that, even the US can also make a lot of mistakes. Whereas this mindset wasn't there in the past like that.
Yeah, that is very interesting,
Are you getting me?
Yeah, but I mean, look, the reason why we are saying all this stuff is because, like I said, you go to work every day. It's not all the work you've done you liked, but you did it for a reason. And the same thing for nations. It's not everything that happens in a nation you like, but the bigger picture is what you should be looking at. Because if the nation is functional, you are going to be better off. And many Nigerians today, because they lack this kind of knowledge, they are willing, I'm telling you, and that gives me sleepless night. They are willing to take arms against fellow Nigerians and kill fellow Nigerians if we give it to them.
No Nigerian is willing to kill his fellow Nigerian.
Oh, yes, they will. They will. You know that.
Wait. The thing is this. The moment you disrespect your other fellow, there's tendency for that person to fight back. And it's not because they are Nigerian, it's because they are human. That's the thing. If you don't respect your next person, it is normal for the person to want to fight and say and earn his respect. So the way they now go about their methodology to earn their respect, it depends on them, and maybe largely using of weapons. It could happen like that. For example, I'm not justifying what they are doing, but I understand what they are doing. And if I'm going to lead, I know how to approach such scenario that when there's dispute, you don't first think weapon, you think dialogue. That is what our leaders should create. That is the environment that they should create. But you are expecting that it is the average Nigerian that should create the environment. No, that is what we should create. And now, if this, for example, if the South feels like we are the one feeding the whole country, yet we are being denigrated because 1 or 2 or 3 persons amongst us are getting the benefits. You don't blame the larger population because they are now picking up weapons. It is the responsibility of the government to ensure that whatever remuneration is going to them, they should see it.
No, I think one, you can blame the larger population because governments are not perfect.
No. Wait. It has been out. Now the thing is that over time, you must have created a mindset in the larger population now that they now see it that way.
No, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
That is not why they are wired.
See, I hear what you are saying, but what I'm saying is that we too, as a people, have to take responsibility that for ourselves. Just because let's give an example with a family member. I like that because we can empathize with that. If a family member is misbehaving, doesn't mean you should touch the family. You should set it on fire because that family member maybe is bad. Maybe even the second one that comes is bad. You don't destroy the entire family because what happens? The others that will come into the family will destroy it further.
Sorry, let me not paint this picture because do you know there's a reason why they always say that the average Nigerian, when you push them to the wall, they bow into the wall. What do you think?
I think that's a little bit of a myth.
Well, it's not a myth. There's a reason why
Nigerians don't borehole into a wall. They fight back all the time, and this is why we don't have. See, let me say why I don't believe that, because one, we've not had one leader that has run Nigeria for 10 years. Many African countries have. Nigerians fight for every single chance they get to get an advantage over the other. They don't give ground at all. Nigeria, we pass a law to make sure every part of the country is often represented. There is nothing in Nigeria they don't do like that.
Wait, so Nigeria, let me paint this argument. Wait, do you know that if we have a good, benevolent military man, that person can rule for 20 years and nobody will have issues.
That's why we've never had it.
Because those people are bad people. If you have a good person,
maybe the people are restless. Maybe that's why. Who told you that all the other military? Okay, let me highlight this. Look at this.
No, they were not bad.
Arrested,
Hold on.
let me read this. Kagame has arrested and assassinated much of his opposition. Same in exile. Some are in exile in Congo. Once he dies, that place will implode. So the other countries, they do worse. But Nigerians, we act as if like, oh, Abacha did one. Abacha is like, you see, compared to other countries, Abacha is not even that serious.
Wait. When you compare us to Rwanda, Uganda, and all those little countries, you are denigrating Nigeria. That is the truth. We are not competing with those people. We are competing with the US. We are competing with the China. That is where we are going. That is the level that we are. I'm sorry for others. I'm sorry that might sound like, no, I'm not disrespectful, but that's the truth. Don't compare us with those that kind of thing can't even happen. You don't get. We are.
Happen, eh?
No, it can't. We have.
I'm not sure you should be taking yourself to that level. Oh, China, 1965. That is now. It is almost 60 years ago when they tested their nuke. We are not the same level as them. Where you try to? We are not even close.
Wait. Are you saying that we are closer to Rwanda and Uganda than we are closer to China?
Yes, clearly. That's what I'm saying. That it is true. Check all the metrics. GDP per capita, name anything you want to name. It's all there.
I rest my case with you.
Oh, look at that. You rest your case.
If you are seeing it that way, fine.
No, I go with data. This is why I like to go with data. If you start saying, oh, because we are so special, you are doing that same thing that is not based on reality.
And I'm telling you now
not based on reality is a
I'm
problem.
telling you that some things in maybe in science, in technology, we might not be as close as China. Yes, I understand. But in terms of leadership, in terms of the collective consciousness of group of people that make up the nation, we are kind of close in that level.
No, I don't think so.
Listen, that is why a tyrant can't continue to rule without a group of persons standing up and devising a means, either true or crook, to overthrow that person in Nigeria. Trust me, if people like Paul Kagame or this Cameroonian guy have been in Nigeria, the only way they would have stood that long is that maybe they were extremely benevolent and doing the right thing to virtually everybody. The moment that they are putting up money in their pocket, they will always end up like their batchers. They might stay up to 8 years, but I can guarantee you eventually there will be brains behind working tirelessly to make sure that they overthrow that government.
I can tell you that name any benevolent dictator in the world, they enrich themselves and they enrich people with just name one.
Wait. When you say benevolent, do you think I'm bothered?
You are the one saying benevolent dictator.
Wait. Do you think I am bothered that what's this man's name? That the gold the gold in Zamfara is taken by two persons and they are keeping the money to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that if they spend maybe 30% and make sure that the people have an enabling environment to grow their own wealth, nobody will care about whatever they are doing with their monies. Wait, who cares about what the royal families in Dubai, in Saudis are doing with their money? When the average Saudi or average Qatari person is being taken care of. You get the point?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let me highlight this conversation, this stuff with Israel too, releasing the prisoners. I think there's a video of Israelis releasing some of the prisoners, and that's the Hamas. I can't believe Hamas is still hanging on with all their might. But about the previous point you made, I still think that Nigeria, by and large, has gotten most of its organization in the right order. I guess if I'm to improve anything, I would say move the democratic power to the people close, make it closer to the people. In other words, have a presidential council, and even in the regions or the states, have a way to kind of make the power of the governor also more plural. In other words, it shouldn't only be concentrated in one hand.
A winner that you win shouldn't mean you take all. As in, winner shouldn't be taking all in Nigerian politics. And
that's the point I'm making. That
it shouldn't. If you don't win up to maybe 55% of the votes, you have no right to claim the 100% ownership of that government and administration.
Yeah, there's something there.
You come to a consensus.
You can create a system that enforces a level of consensus. It can be a problem on its own. We can have that conversation later. Where
it is nice to have that problem.
The problem with consensus is that, let me explain to you. The problem with consensus is that if one tiny person decides that I'm going to hold you all hostage,
yes,
you're not going anywhere. So
that is true.
a tiny one person now will be ruling everybody else.
Nanga, this is the thing. If that one person holds everybody, it should be open to everybody that this is the person holding everybody for this goodness.
Then what are you going to do?
And those people who are responsible to put that one person amongst, put him where he is now capable of making that decision, they realize that we have to remove this person and put somebody that will fight for
no. What if that person is doing the will of those people?
And now wait. If that person is doing the will of the people, then that's where negotiation comes into play. And if it means that we wait,
that person, so let me give you a scenario.
Sorry. If it means that we will wait 5 years to achieve that negotiation, no problem. Look, it is a good fight. It is a fight for respect.
I think sometimes when a tiny minority, I think you should make it. There are some issues you allow to go through, while others, like even in nations now, constitutional change has to go through a certain amount of.
Now you see that you even have a quick solution to that. So I don't see how a tiny person will hold us for long.
Okay, no, I was just highlighting because you were saying consensus. I was like saying if it's consensus, one person
the challenge is peculiar to that kind of system. It's better for the nation building itself.
Yes, I agree with you on that, and I really wish almost everybody I've mentioned this to seems to support it. But organize ourselves to promote it.
Yesterday I was doing a research about Cameroon. Cameroon president is 91. The Senate president is 90. The president of the National Assembly is 85. See what is going on
amongst them.
The people will be saying even just hot tea alone self go fit kid.
Man, what's going on?
Almost, you see, Nigerians, like when Nigerians complain twice, 3 of them will die.
Even just raise too much noise for street, they don't collapse because of that.
By the time only Southeastern people come out in Nigeria and say, we are not having this. The president will die of heart attack alone. Nigeria is one of the most difficult countries to govern, maybe even in the world. Nigeria is a difficult country to govern.
Very difficult. Because if you notice, since 1990 date, we never give our president any flower. We insult all of them when they are in power. Yes, we do that.
And we always say that the president is so powerful.
We all give
mount them to the end.
The reason why we give Yar'Adua his flower because it didn't last, it didn't complete his term. I think he spent almost 2 years.
He was doing well, though. He was doing quite well when he was in office.
Obasanjo raised the fuel pump to.
Yeah, because he inherited it.
And he came here and he turned it back to. I know. We know what he was doing. He even brought in this what do you call it now? This regulation around the voting and elections. I know now. He was doing well.
I think that guy was an institution builder. It's a shame he didn't last long. He would have built.
Look at you see, this is what we talk about leadership. Look at him. What one of the things he said was when he came in, he said, I know that the route to this place was wrong, but I am here now. Let us now work on how to make it better. You know, there are ways to talk. It waters down the anger in people. And it makes everybody want. And sincerely speaking, an average Nigerian is a rational person. If you talk calmly and rationally, they will reason with you. They may not agree, but no problem. They will be gentle and say, okay, let us watch out. You get the point. That is what I'm talking about. So
Nigerians don't take prisoners. They really don't take prisoners. They can't abide it.
He brought it down and said, come. I understand the issues. In fact, I know I am part of the problem, but let us see how we can move forward. And he started acting towards it instantly. Not like this president.
Another thing I noticed, Nigerians don't know how to also play politics. For example, I always tell people, I don't support any government. I always pay. If they fail, I criticize them. If they do something right, I praise them. But in Nigeria, you see some people, they can never see anything that is good. Everything is bad. For example, yes, Buhari failed on economy. Let's agree, but on security, you cannot deny that he actually built Nigeria military back to glory.
He did something, but he didn't do that well. For my stand, but if I was marking him, he did some, but he did like in terms of reclaiming territory from terrorists. Yes, that is true. He accomplished those things. But
Yeah.
if you say he built the military, I don't think he did. Yeah, he did a few things here and there, but
he had them to the extent that we were in a better position than we were before. So on that, I give
he could have done better. One, the police.
Of course, I agree.
The police was supposed to recruit 10,000 every year for 8 years. That would have been 80,000. But guess what they did? Only 10,000 they recruited, and even that 10,000 they were arguing who to pay them because the police commission and the other they were arguing among themselves. The strike in the country was out of control. So yes, I'm frustrated by our Nigerian leaders. Many of them do a lot of good things. But what they tend to do is they do a lot of bad things to cancel it. Those bad ones,
it
man.
is not good. If you look, if you do something good, we all know that it is good. But if you are dressing eba as cake and you want me to accept it, we will cut through the cake and see that it is eba that is there.
Yeah, but the biggest compliment is it not Dangote though? I think that Dangote one is his biggest achievement, if you ask me.
Wow.
I think that's quite a big one.
The thing is this: eventually, things like this will continue to happen. The Nigerian system.
Buhari tried in success. For example, he increased the share in Nigeria equity in Africa Development Bank. Nigeria have the voting power. He did the same thing at the Afrexim Bank. So at least
what is our share there?
I think we have the highest voting power in Africa Development Bank. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, the United States was the one that had the voting power before, but when Buhari came in, he improved our listing to make sure we are the one. You know.
Was it Buhari that invested 20% into Dangote?
Yes, he was the one, but Tinubu came in and didn't fulfill the balance.
Yeah. Yeah, man. This is why I'm a bit angry with this president, because if there's only one area I will forgive him is if he takes care of the military. But clearly he's not. He's not going to do it, and I don't even know whether the next person is even looking to do it. They will all campaign that they're going to do
it. Don't they have budgets?
The thing is that they have budget, but they don't budget to increase the size of the military in any way. Do you know?
Tunaja, let me
show you the calculation that I did.
Let me give you the calculation of the budget this year. Police 1.2 trillion. Military, I think 1.4. That is army 1.4. I think the Air Force, I think 500 million. National Security Advisor, another 500 million. SSS, I think 150. So that's the breakdown I saw recently. Yeah.
None of that number is up to $1 billion. None of them.
No, I think it's about in total it's about almost 5 trillion naira. That's about 2 point something, 2.8 billion dollar. Yeah, $2.8 billion. Yeah.
That is not a lot.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot. I think we need 10 billion.
It is not a lot, but it can do something.
And for the military, the money, I think I gathered that they spend about $4 to $5 billion.
But it is in these monies too that even what you say is not a lot. A lot of it is taken away via corruption.
No, that goes with the territory. I think.
No. That wait. You see, that is where I don't agree with you. You are taking corruption to be a constant all the time.
No, I'm not taking a corruption to be a constant. I'm taking life. No, I'm not. See, Milokun. See, one thing I have realized in life is that it's a Milokun now. It's a Milokun. One thing I realized in life is that there's no need worrying too much about perfection. Worry about what works. What works. Because your people want what works. They don't care about perfection.
Wait. Well, you see, you don't. The fundamental reason why we must make sure that it works and that people must believe it that it's working Look, the moment people don't believe it, they will never give their best. And if they don't give their best, we will just continue to appear like we are doing it, but deep down we are not doing anything. For me as a person, I feel like if people see that monies are spent well, in fact, maybe let the larger chunk of the monies be spent well. And let us even really see where those monies will take us to. Then people will begin to know that, okay, yes, we can trust the system to push it forward and to give themselves.
But is the outcome not what matters?
What kind of outcome?
Like if security improves in the country and money starts flowing into the country, you are saving the country money. See, the way I look at it is that if like now we are spending $4 billion, let me try to explain what I'm trying to say.
I know, I get your point.
Okay,
I understand what you're saying. That
what am I trying to say?
when you secure your nation, you gain from it because now you will have the time and space to prosper. Basically, that's what you're saying.
Not only that, that when you spend when you spend $4 billion, I'm trying to let you understand that you're not getting zero security. You're getting something out of it. So even if they will be stealing some money, even when you spend more, but you get more security too out of it. So when that more security comes, let's say you're losing $50 billion every year. You start losing, instead of 40, 50, you are losing 20 or 10. That is a massive savings you've just saved from that. So, and the money that they are stealing, if it is one of those things that, like when you write exam, it's easy to get up to 50%, isn't it, sometimes? Then to get up to 60% will be a little bit harder. 70% is going to be even harder. Then when you get to 90, it's even to get an extra 5% or 10%, it's infinitely more difficult. You see, exactly. So that is how corruption is. When there's a level of corruption that you cannot tolerate, you have to fight it. But when you start looking for perfection, that's when you are now fighting against the grain.
Now that level of corruption that we are tolerating in Nigeria, don't you think it's already we should already start rejecting it? That's the point.
I ask myself though, is it the same? Are we doing the same thing that we are often accused of? Like, how Nigerians are accused of scamming all over the world and all the rest. Are we exaggerating some of all these things? Because I ask myself, if we have $28 billion in budget and you look at Nigeria today, I don't see that the Nigerian government is, as a matter of fact, Nigeria looks better than $28 billion budget. The UK spends 1.5 trillion. And when I walk on the street, I don't see gold under my leg. 1.5 trillion every year they are spending on their country. But Nigeria spends, the government itself spends about $28 billion. The last time Buhari did it was $40-something billion. So it's not a lot of money.
Yeah, on this, I agree with you. You are right. It's not a lot of money out there. We are just.
How much can they possibly steal?
Thank you.
You can argue that maybe the resources that we are not seeing, they are stealing that one too. I understand there is corruption, but that shouldn't stop you from moving forward. Because when I did the number, it's about 1.5 billion dollars that you're going to spend annually to recruit about 300,000 into the military, equip them, housing and everything, and it's going to stimulate the economy too. That's also an economic investment because you are employing people. So when I did the numbers, it's like mind blowing how positive it is.
Now, this is the thing. When you say that money is small, so what is it anyway? But when we do that, it is taken away. Before you know it, that is the same mindset that goes into civil service, into every form of space of leadership. And eventually, what happens? The people suffer for it, number one. Because now they realize that because of that system, you will not benefit merit. Merit won't prosper there.
Now, I agree with you the way you put it now.
It trickles down to the mindset.
Yeah, you're talking about the multiplier effect.
Exactly.
I hear what you are saying there.
Somebody will not say that there's no need to study.
I'm not saying you shouldn't go after it. I gave the example of passing exams. The idea is that you go after it enough so that you don't spend you don't spend undue amount of energy chasing that stuff, so that you can focus on the bigger picture. The bigger picture is making sure there is security and investment is coming to the country. Because even if you look at America, 40-something thousand people are dying every year from gun violence alone, but yet the economy is booming. Why? Because they don't want to focus too much on that aspect. Because there's only as much bandwidth a government has. That's my point. I'm not saying you shouldn't fight it, especially to prevent the multiplier effect. You definitely need to fight it so that it doesn't trickle down and cause even more chaos. But if I look at it right now, even the multiplier effect included, Nigeria doesn't have zero security. The roads are not poto all over the place. It's not. So there are some things this money is paying for. People are actually doing things with them. So I don't know what the level. It's just that we are starving. There's no money. How can you have 28 billion for 220 million people and you think that country is going to run well? Try that in the UK, you will get the riot on your hands. As a matter of fact, Starmer will regret the day they name him Starmer.
The thing is that you know, living in Nigeria is not too expensive. You get my point. It's not as expensive, so you can't compare that. You see, the value of money, the value you get for money in Nigeria is far better than the value you get for that same money outside. You know that.
True.
You get the point, and that is what I'm saying. So if our money will give us more value, then we should see that value, because in our own level, that is what that money is meant for. So that is what I'm trying to say. Of course, in the grand scheme of things, it is tiny money, it is cheap money, yes. But in the Nigerian space, for the value you are going to get, it is worth it.
I agree. I can't disagree with you. However, the only area where I was questioning it was that if you want to invest, you should be saying, oh, I shouldn't invest until I take care of this. No, I think you should still go ahead and invest, because when you do that, you're going to save money, whatever happens. Even if some of the money gets stolen or whatever. Even in the UK, when they were giving money for the pandemic, the chancellor was like, I don't care. The important thing is people get money, the people that need it. Even if some may get lost, majority will get to the people that actually need it, and he put it out there.
Look,
so
that's what we need. You see, all those subtle nuanced language is where corruption really thrives. He shouldn't be saying that rubbish that he doesn't care if part of it is lost in. He should care, because truly the money will be lost. But when you give room, when you give 1 foot to corruption tends to take 1 mile.
No, but that's not what happened now. So they lost some money. I think they lost about 1.6 billion pounds.
Yes.
But they spent about 300 billion.
Because the system there, one way or the other, checkmates a lot of things. So that money can't just be lost anyhow like that. But in the Nigerian system, where even the president's signature can be forged, you realize that a lot of things.
In the military, do they steal that much though? There's not that they do steal money, but
look, the people that steal the money are the top guns. The people that steal the money, because they are the middle guys don't even steal much. The top guns.
Yes.
So you see, when you don't let big corruption go just like that.
No, I'm not saying I should let it go. Don't me.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the space itself, not you. You are not responsible for anything.
Okay.
I'm saying for example, the administration should make sure that corruption should be dealt with, especially the big ones that will send the message right. You get the point? And it starts from even you as a president. It starts from you as a governor. For example, you are claiming that, okay, you're taking away all the subsidies and this and that. You've not brought the gas buses a year after, 1 year after. And you've already punished the people. That is corruption on its own. If you plan to take subsidies away, you should have had a system that will make sure that in 6 to 8 months, there should be a certain food that should not be as expensive as what it is right now. If it means that you are just going to devote on rice farming, at least if people eat rice every day, one way or the other, they will still be fine. There's a way. you spend this money and make people will begin to say that no, this person is trying to fight it right. People will understand. You get my point? Are you saying that close to 2 years now we've not been able to grow rice and make sure that a bag of rice is 7,000 naira for ourselves? Or we need, just to say for Nigerians, we want to sell it for 7K. Are you saying it's not possible?
Yeah, it is possible.
You get the point.
I hear your points and I hear your concerns, but it shouldn't be in the way of acting against insecurity.
No. I'm not acting against it, because eventually security boils down to this as well. You need to secure those spaces even to grow these things. You get my point?
You know what they said? Sorry, let me add this one. I think we probably need to talk about other news so that we can round up, because Dr. Damage is coming on soon. But you know what they said? That if you help one person in Nigeria, like a breadwinner, he goes on to help at least 6 other people in society. So when you are creating those jobs, you are also helping a lot of other people. The lives get better. And then you are also, the jobs you are creating is not just to dig a hole and cover it. It's also offering something vitally needed by the nation, which is security, that will bring foreign direct investment. And by the time I did the analysis on this, and I asked, why is it that the Nigerian government hasn't even taken this case to a bank to make this case? They said it's because the Nigerian government, they don't, the people that give them that money don't want to fund security and all those things, and that, but there is a chance that they could make the case for it. But that is me asking the question openly like that. But in the dark corridors of power, I'm sure our leaders are not allowed to speak like that. They are not allowed to say, you know what, this is a money investment you are making here. If you invest in this as security, this is how much you're going to get back. But the profit, the gain is out of this world. It's like more than 300 to 400% profit. But yet they are not doing it. They are not making any case to any bank, IMF, all of them. It tells you what is going on. And, all our politicians will come and highlight that too. That these people are owned. That's why they are not making that case. You can't be losing $50 billion or even $40 billion a year. You cannot make a case that I need to spend, give me $5 billion, give me $10 billion. I need to invest heavily in my security to plug this hole.
Fine. But are you saying that if they invested in that security, that those people will stop them?
Oh, yes. Yeah, but that's the point. It will become like every other nation that has a little bit of problem here and there. Not running, kidnapping first and killing military nonsense, all that's going. It will be over. It will be like a normal nation now that responds, and you see their military everywhere because you deny them space. As a matter of fact, Nigeria will be far safer than many other all these Western nations actually, because most Nigerians are relatively peaceful. Many Africans are peaceful people. They are not warlike at this stage. We are not like Europeans that are used to violence. We are not.
We are not peaceful. We are not peaceful. We are. It's not that we are. Sorry to bad you, I beg, no verse. I think I have less than maybe 5 minutes. I did sites.
Okay.
You understand?
Welcome.
Yes. See, to Nigeria, you pick a fast mission with a one day when you tell you the Nigerian military machineries, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think you understand what it means. You've decided to pick a fight. You yourself ask yourself, right? Just ask yourself one question. As a Nigerian military, what will they produce? That's one question you ask yourself. From our boots to socks to uniform, nothing. Where will they produce first?
Yeah.
Then you ask yourself, why? If not be machinery, why? You understand? So even when I listen to you, you analyze Congo and all that. I said, it's not saying you don't understand how the world works.
Sorry. Are you saying that Nigerians don't make their uniform till date and their boots and stuff? They don't make it?
Hey, to Nigeria.
I need to check.
All you need to understand, we are not free people. We never get independent. And that is what the people with the power now. they hide from the majority all over the world. Now, what do I mean by that? Our resources, no be we they control 'em. If you think say na lie, they lie. Just try say you want exploit any of your resources by yourself and see what will happen to you first. As we and you there, they argue, right? 10 to 20 people are being killed in Northeast every day that they pursue them. Guess what? As that they go on, international companies are tripling it with their extractive industries and machines. You there they cry about Congo because that's what is on the news. Your own country it is happening. See, one then destinator say this territory na extract is meant for extractive purpose. That means the resources now then go decide to secure how they wish to secure them. The fact that the guns and everything where you need to secure yourself now then go give you. Tells you everything. So that's why they say that machinery, they mean that now they tell you.
I know what the point you are making, though. That you may be correct, but Nigeria does manufacture military boots for the specifics anyway, and then many of them they are made in Aba boys. Aba boys. They make our military boots.
Yeah, see, Naija.
Yes.
2025 at a point when other military are talking of a drone that can be as effective as nuclear weapon. You are screaming down at the manufacture boots. So see,
We have to
no,
start from somewhere now. We have to start from somewhere.
no, you have to start to get your freedom first before you can even dream.
I'm not
If you
disagreeing with you.
understand, so we cannot dream, we cannot do it. All this budget, all those ones now just no, it's not gonna go anywhere. Now, we, since we are not in position to actually fight or negotiate with the power that be, now that is why we have to find people who are radical and nationalistic in nature. That you say, you know what, we need to renegotiate the terms. Those are the kind of people we want in power. These people will get power, so they don't live with us. They don't even understand our language. Forget all, just pay attention to them. Everything when they talk has nothing to do with the people. All of them, how can they fit into the new world that is within the West? That's their dream. That's all the contract is about. So until we look for people when no one live the European life, when no one live for abroad, when no one send their children abroad, when no one school abroad, who just want to teach natively. That's when people talk say we should go back to the past. That's just what they are trying to say. We need people who don't want to look. People who are say, okay, we need to develop ourselves. In order for us to do that, we self need to be here. You understand? So until we begin to have leaders that speak like that, all these people leaders we will get, so all of them are competing to, oh, let me carry out your policy out for you for Nigeria. Because all these policies, that's why even they don't understand them, because it's given to them to implement. Because this again, because of what is going on in the world, America need money. So they have to come back to their colony. That's why they tell you, say, all these people that they do so now have to get more money and send it back to our guys to pursue their own agenda. So that's what all our leaders are competing for. Let me be in position to be that messenger, to be that at the expense of the majority.
This is just
You understand? That's just at the.
What is that?
So that until we begin to do that, say okay, that means now a lot of things we are ready to get the consequences, right? They go sanction us, they go do everything, but that is the sacrifice. That is sacrifice we are ready to pay, all of us, not just the poor. When we say make with the poor, but them they buy private jet, but no, because when you decide to say you want to take your own fate into your own hands, in other words, you want to reduce the Western influence in your life. You understand? There will be consequences, but the consequences now, I will bear it with my people. I am not going anywhere. I'm not sending my children anywhere. My children will go. The schools are not going, but all of us will die here. You understand? Then we stand a chance.
But one thing you are not saying is that the reason why the West is in control of Africa is because of the failure of the African citizens That's the
That's what
reason
I'm
why
saying now. That's because that's what I'm saying. That until we have people
it doesn't even
who
have
say
anything to do, it doesn't even have anything to do with the leader. It has something to do with the people. The people themselves,
that
including
you
myself,
listen now,
like
listen first, listen now. Hold on, my brother. No be every day they argue. We are saying the same thing, right? When I say I don't mention name of leader, I say until we the people find people. Now, few people go have that vision and mission, then decided to educate the people along. That's how you get the people. The people know just the spring from nowhere. You have to have some people who have a foresight. You are not decided to organize the people. That's where the people come in. So the people until somebody organize them along a mission, the people are useless anywhere in the world. You know, a few people will come, will say, okay, this is what we need to go through. This is what we are going to go because the people will die, something will happen. But yes, all of us all of us are in it. All of us are in it. This is the but a situation whereby we have access to the outside world easily. We are taking advantage of. There's a reason why any small thing, all of us, everybody is that is the contract. You understand? Between all these.
but if any leader comes in now and says, let's ban importation of foreign products into Nigeria, Nigerians will hate that leader immediately.
No. See, hold on, wait. You need to understand. Okay, first of all, who is that leader? That leader maybe get house for outside the country, business there, everything. You won't go and tell me, say, so, you know, the message will not go connect. You understand? That's why when you talk, say, we should forget about leader, I agree with you, it's about the people. For a leader to actually resonate with the people, you have to be like the people. Not be say you go come from high heaven. You understand? Begin dictate that will work, but it will take a long way for you. That means you are in control of a lot of the persuasive media and every other thing. But we have to have that native mindset. Say, come on now, because of their now the control be that our schools now they write the curriculum for us. The way we they govern ourselves now then to give us the constitutional framework. Everything about us is being so that is an indirect way to control us. So things have to we have to have a group of people, right?
But what
In the
about
sake of saying the leader.
what about the professors in Nigeria since 1960? They haven't sat down and said, okay, I think it's time we develop a curriculum for our people. You understand me? Let them come together. Let them develop curriculum that actually work for the Nigerian economy instead of the one that was given to us by the British. So when you use that, the failure of the people.
See, you keep saying the failure of the people, the failure of the people. The people, both the leader and the follower and be the people where they talk. You are trying. No. This is not the time to blame, because they only talk until we realize they will not be free first. Because we know they accept the fact that we are not free. Maybe all of us just accept that fact. You understand? So it is not the time to blame. It's time for us to actually sit down and say, "Come on, this is our reality." We need to understand the reality, how the world works first. This is our reality, and work internally. Because whatever both the problem and the glory, now we go carry out together. That's why if you follow other leaders that did it before, if you don't even follow a leader, that's how they did it. You have to actually make people understand why we are where we are, the influence. You know, that's why I say the leaders, our people today, I don't know they say the leader, the elders. The elders, because if you look at those that are the same class of people, now they fight the civil war, now they give us the constitution, now they create the political parties. So there's something that they know. That's why they don't want to teach us history. They don't want they know actually nothing. They just all of us just they find our own level. So it's as if we are just people who no get direction. There's a reason. You know the reason just they happen like that. So my guy, not because I argue with you or say that the leaders or the people. I'm just saying that I agree with you, but the people cannot just be conscious. You know, people don't just wake up overnight like that. Now individuals among us will take that role. You understand? But you have to be conviction and practicality when you are delivering that message. Sorry, make I go beg. I would listen for background.
Let me just add to this. Maybe our people haven't gone through what these people have gone through. You see, because the thing is, one of the reasons why we are docile, I've always said it, that we've not engaged in a first world conflict where we truly see the enemy in the face. like the way African Americans understand these things. We don't see it clearly. So look at what these people have gone through, and I can't believe these Gazans have shown what human resilience can be like, to live in a place like that and still have the the mindset to still remain there. Let me just play this video.
Them said they want to take over the media. They give us misinformation. So we need to recognize that fact that majority of the people have no idea how the world works, how the system works. So it is upon us to conscientize them before we can decide to say that them be the problem. Thank you, my brother.
My respect to the Palestinian people.
These people, they have a will of steel. They have a will of steel, man. They are like, kill us all. We are living. They just, man, they were just destroying buildings after buildings, family after family. Like they said, when they shoot some of them, that somebody will be outside. Other people come to try to save it, and then they blow it, all of them up.
Yeah.
And if they miss you, a drone will come and finish you off. It's like unbelievable stuff. It's like they are just resilient set of people. You have to give it to them that to withstand this hassle. And their resilience is what is defeating Israel. It's not like they can defeat Israel militarily. It's the fact that they refuse to budge. They remain there. They refuse to leave. Why is this not playing now?
Mega boss AB bubble where they talk about that in December. All the drinks we will not sell for that in December are imported. The hotel every service we will not rent that they get the money. 60% of the money they go back to the Western world. So what is the proud of say we not create one industry that in December and you are proud when they go fish short in the internet down during that time. Short on electricity down and no go see that money again.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! It's not AP that was saying that. That is in my industry. That's a funny one. See, even if you are making money, better to be making money than losing, I would say. But most of it is not sustainable. You can't hold on to it. That's has always been my problem with the way Nigeria operates. We are bleeding.
We render. Every service we render are all foreign. So the money they go back to where it come from.
We are a bleeding patient. And even in America, I think the Black American community, they said something about money doesn't stay within the community. The moment they get it, they go and spend it again. And the same thing is happening in Africa too. We get it, we spend it on them again. And it's just a no-win.
I said this to someone recently. I said there's too much money in leaving Africa every year. It's too much. There's too much repatriation of money. And
don't
that's
make anything now. Don't make
that's
anything.
So where do you now put the remunerations and what do you call it now? The monies that have been repatriated back to Africa and the country, especially from black tax and things like that.
And the funny thing is that the money that the diaspora, that's quite a interesting conversation to us. The money that the diasporans are sending to this in Nigeria, by the time they spend it, half of it is going to end back in the West because the products that the Nigerians use often come from the West anyway. So it ends up in the West again. But however, the point I wanted to add to this, I think there was something I wanted to say about the money that we spend. Oh, I've forgotten. Welcome, Ja. Anyway, we're going to be rounding up soon. I think Dr. Damage is going to be coming on in 15 minutes, and we have to be done in.
Ja, what's good, Ja?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm good. I'm good. Welcome.
I joined it because
Sorry, Ja. Let me just add this. I remember now. There was this proposal that was made by the I think either the Palestinians. I don't know where it came from. Some people say it's from Hamas. They said the rebuilding of Gaza. You know, they always try to rebuild after they destroy. The plan. The plan includes building underground. This thing. Sorry. This is I shouldn't be doing this actually. The plan includes building underground tunnels to join North Gaza with Central Gaza. That on Sky News they said there's no way Israel will accept this because it appears the plan was made by.
We don't get what we are saying now.
But you know what? I think Hamas has learned a lesson from this conflict. If Palestinians are building next time, they will build on the ground. Mark my words. Sorry, go ahead, please. I just found it very funny. Go ahead. I think
Palestinians are resilient people. You got to give them that credit.
Yeah, they refuse to budge, man. These guys, you kill them, they just refuse to budge. I can't believe it. The bomb. They said the bombs that they received, I think it's more than twice that of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In that small territory, they took so much bombing, and they are still there. They refuse to move. Man, you have, if for that reason alone, you have to
But where
respect.
do you want them to move?
South Africans went to that much. Is there no water there? Put float on top of the water, try to swim across to Jordan or whatever you can make it. What kind of wahala is this one? They are bombing me left and right. I have to find somewhere to go now. This is too much. Israel was wiping out families after families. I don't know what Hamas did to those people in that territory, but they've exercised a level of discipline that is unbelievable. It's remarkable.
Tunaja.
Yeah.
See, if you look, for example, you see what Dangote refinery did to European oil market. You understand? It shows that if we build things, we can actually compete. See what Africa needs to do. There are some existing companies that are currently not profitable that some of us can buy and start from there. Buy the intellectual property, have control of this thing. Then you go from there. See, look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk didn't create Tesla. He bought it from. It was an existing company. He bought it and he make it better. This can be done, and you become a major player in that field instead of us just always complaining about the West. I get it. We only have this century to complain about the West. We need to get our ass up and start doing also start competing with these people.
Thank you,
Nigeria.
You see, that is exactly the point I'm trying to make. That no matter how you blame the West is not fine. They are playing the Yankee Pankies, yes, but they've not held their hands to progress like that. That they've not said that you shouldn't try to progress, even though you might want to have evidences, yes. But the thing is that even what we still have, if we utilize it judiciously, we can buy ourselves more shares in this cabinet of leadership, of global leadership, gradually. That is the thing, because once they see that you are making the right step, you have more of support eventually, even if it is for the noise.
Yeah, that's true.
Even
let me share before we go this this great plan of reconstructing this. I think this was on Sky News in the UK, and that was shocked me that they even have the balls to read the news. Let me just share it. I found it very funny. Let me reduce the speed. It's a bit too fast.
Tunaja, before you do that, I think you should allow Ja to speak now. He's here already.
Is he still here? Oh yeah. Let me get him up. Yeah. I know he's gonna, and it's not very long anyway. I think it's about a maximum a minute. Then I can give him a chance to speak. I didn't know he didn't speak. All this while he was the one I thought he was speaking. All right, let me just do that so we don't waste too much time.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm doing something right now.
There's nothing to return to. Fire offers the possibility of return, but for many, there is nothing to return to. There is, though, a plan to rebuild. From Gaza local governments, as it stands, still led by Hamas. And the blueprints for that have been shared with Sky News. It shows a short, medium, and long-term plan. The areas highlighted here in yellow are locations people should move to for the time being, either side of the red line that separates north and south. They say these zones are closer to hospitals and cleaner water and soil. Then priorities for the next 6 months: housing, transport, economy, and healthcare. This map is the latest assessment of damage to medical infrastructure and how they're planning on fixing it. That includes trauma support and underground storage facilities to make them more resilient. There are even ideas for underground tunnels to connect cities. That's bound to infuriate Israel, especially if these plans are perceived as coming from Hamas. But who builds it, who funds it, and what sort of government runs it are all unknown. In the meantime, Gazans will have to rely on the little infrastructure that still exists.
Wow.
At least they come up with plans so quickly. Our governments will struggle to come up with plan. was underground. This one, this time they want to connect. I couldn't stop laughing when I. Man, there are certain things that are funny. There are certain things that are double funny, man. the war has been.
To Nigeria, they are like that soldier ants. You know that soldier ant when you destroy this thing, they rebuild again.
I'm telling you, man, the war has barely ended. You're looking at me that one again. You want to double down, eh? How the reporter said this will infuriate Israel. What did you think? He's going to infuriate them now. But I think there is some seriousness to this, because you can see how organized they are. They are super organized, and the people themselves. I'm completely flabbergasted how the people are organized. They are not like turning on Hamas. You don't see them. You hardly see them. You hear some of them criticize Hamas or talk about the war sometimes, but they just seem to be focused. Like, no matter what Israel does, we are not backing down. No matter what. Even when they don't like Hamas, they keep it down. They don't turn easily. It's really, really a strange phenomenon we are seeing here. Maybe someday they will turn against Hamas. Maybe someday in the near future. I won't be surprised to see that, actually, given what they've been through. But it's remarkable that they haven't done it up till now. But I said, Ja. Welcome, Ja. Thank you for joining us. Have you got anything to add before we roll the curtains? Oh, Ja is not there at the moment.
Yeah, you there? Yeah.
Man, these guys have to make me laugh, man. Like, when I first saw it on this, I couldn't stop laughing. Like, you guys, you really don't respect Israel's fear, don't you? You just finish building tunnels, and now you want to build it. At this time, they probably are thinking of building it in such a way that it's going to protect the civilians. That's what they are looking to do now, just in case.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, go ahead. You guys can continue to talk. I'm just shoveling some snow out of my car. No. Right now I'm multitasking. Right now I'm trying to shovel some snow off my car. Right now it's snowing where I'm at. So.
Okay.
All right, then we'll just be rounding up anyway. Anybody wants to say anything before we round up? Just for the Nigerians. Gaza. Let me just read this. Dan Isaiah. Thank you for joining us. Gaza may have 27 power. No, actually, they will definitely have it before Nigeria. I assure you, they will definitely have it before Nigeria. I don't think their grid will collapse.
Yeah, you are right. On that, I agree with.
They will definitely have it before us. Those guys are super organized right now, man. It's ridiculous how organized they are. Unbelievable.
And guess what? They already have it in mind that the world has abandoned them, so they have a lot to strive for. So they are ready to. Give them 2 years. That place, the kind of structure you'll be seeing in that place, you'll be surprised.
Look at Fumi Ose underground again. Yeah, what do you think? you have to build.
Tunaja, we may be laughing.
I will be living underground permanently.
Tunaja, let's be honest. That underground actually protect them. If not, all their military, everything would have been wiped out.
They'll be done.
They'll be done. So underground help them a lot.
If I'm telling you now, my vision for Nigeria right now, the kind of security vision I have, because I think in this world you just have to be a little bit paranoid. If you are not, then you are not taking the world seriously enough. Because the world, they are crazy.
To be honest, do we even have a bunker in that country? Like, okay, you just say a war now where we can at least, even if 10% of our population tell them to hide, do we have anything like that?
10%? Jesus Christ, they can barely. I don't think they have enough for even the this
elite.
It's a big problem, and it's almost continent wide. We don't build underground structures. We don't.
No, it's not continent wide. Though, have you seen North Africa underground railway system?
Oh, okay, yeah, North Africa. When I say continent wide, I'm talking about Niger Congo area from the sub-Saharan.
Yes. Yeah. Even South Africa has underground rail system. Morocco
has underground rail.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I didn't know
in Johannesburg.
So
yeah.
Africa.
Then Algeria has.
I didn't know they did. I didn't know they had South Africa had underground rail. I've never seen that too. I thought they didn't.
They have underground rail.
They did, they do, eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
they also have a lot of underground buildings too.
You see, anywhere people are, they are paranoid like hell, man. They always do that.
They always have backup plan.
The way they do things is that they have dual use. They will tell you it's for underground, but it's also for defense. They always have dual use investment. And when they invented this term, cannot confirm nor deny. That term came from, I think, the prima facie. Is it prima facie? No, there was a term they used to describe that time. It came from when America was deceiving the world with what they were doing during the Cold War. And they know how to do something on the surface. It seems like something else, but it's actually for something else. And we in Africa, my goodness, we don't have a clue. We can't even barely build. When we cannot even supply ourselves electricity, how can we even build underground? What is
For example, when you look at UK, and if there's a war in UK, many UK citizens will survive, because if you look at the whole London, all of them is almost underground. So a lot of British citizens will survive that war. But a country like Nigeria, I don't think what is left will be 2%. It's crazy, man. We are not prepared for anything. What happened? Ja, what's good? Are you there, Ja?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm finally inside the car.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting another snowstorm, bro. Jesus Christ.
Damn.
We still didn't recover from the last one.
What's the weather? What degree?
It's probably like
Oh my God. I shall not sin. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. Fumio, I appreciate you for staying with us today. AB, Danazaya, UFC fan, thank you for joining us. Ja Nzola, I really appreciate you for joining us. Janzola and all in our politics. Till next time, we'll catch you all again. Bye. Let's run it down.